What's going on, guys? Welcome into the Blazers Uprise post-game show. Apologies for, I think, 2 stream links that didn't work. Sometimes the software glitches and shuts down a stream. It's very annoying, but you guys are looking at me right now, so we're good to go. The Blazers get a win tonight. They moved to 25-29 on the season. They beat the Miami Heat by a score of 115-109. The Miami Heat were banged up, but they still played well. The Portland defense wasn't that good in the first half, but it tightened up in the second half. Gary Trent Jr. balled out once again. Trevor Ariza had a great first half. Melo had a very solid first half, kind of tapered off in the second. He's been inconsistent lately. Same goes for CJ McCollum, but you still got Damian Lillard playing at an MVP level. So I mean, just a solid win to get before we go on the road before the All-Star break. The next game the Blazers play at home is the 21st, so it's going to be another 12 days until the Blazers play at home. We're ticking up to the All-Star break. It would be nice to win the next 2 and head into All-Star break 27 and 29. Those are 2 games against the Pelicans and the Grizzlies that are crucial for that battle for the 8th seed. So, but you know, before we get there, we got to recap this game. We got to talk about what happened tonight. I got to bring on Eric. I'll call him right now. I'll make sure to unmute him because I know you guys don't want to hear that Skype ringtone. I never want to hear that Skype ringtone. So here we go. Calling him. All right. Erica Glazer says, "Hey Tori, great game. Team looks good when we get good wing play." Yeah, the wings played great, especially in the first half. You had Trent, Carmelo, and Trevor Ariza combining for 41 points in the first half on like 11 for 16 shooting. So that was phenomenal productions from our wings. So we got Eric Brandt. What's up, man?
What's up? How you doing?
Just a overall solid win for the Blazers. I mean, this was a game they should have won. You know, I'm not going to beat around the bush here. This Miami Heat team was missing Jimmy Butler, its best player, missing its godlike center and Myers Leonard. They go from second, third best team in the East to like the worst team in the East without Myers Leonard, obviously. So missing him was crucial. Sucks that the Blazers couldn't give him a tribute, though. In all honesty, the Blazers fans would have cheered him like crazy, but it sucks that was his only chance to come back here, and he had a sprained ankle. So tough for Myers, but
did you see that thing that Bad Word JoJo sent us on Twitter? So Chad's been ripping. Chad Doing's been ripping the Myers tribute video all day. So Myers responded to him. It says, "Hey Chad, maybe it's time you took a look in the mirror and evaluate your true inner feelings and be a happy person for someone else. You've always been negative as hell. Get a life, pal. You're a loser and your opinions flat out suck. Have a good night."
What?
Yeah, Myers Leonard.
How did I miss this?
I don't know. It was just 28 minutes ago, so you're probably prepping for the stream, but yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my goodness.
And then all these people replying to Myers.
Wow, bro. Yeah, we have to lead off this post-game show with that. All the topics I had planned just went right out the window. Oh my goodness. Myers just literally laid the hammer down. Said, "You're a loser. Your opinions flat out suck. You've always been negative as hell. Get a life." My goodness, he let loose, man. He absolutely let loose. Did Chad respond to that?
I'm looking. I don't see a response yet. And it's kind of funny because almost everyone that's replying is like, "Yeah, it's about time someone called him out." Blah, blah, blah. I don't see many people defending Chad.
Yeah, no. Chad stopped tweeting 28 minutes ago because he was tweeting about the game, and then he stopped tweeting after that. So, oh my goodness. Somebody should point out to Myers though that Pinwheel Empire was hating on him, and then
Yeah, it's the ultimate suck up. They're like, "Oh, let's do a tribute video so we get back in his good graces." They're trying to appease Dame too.
So I'm gonna tweet at
him back to
Myers
follow
right
him
now.
again.
All right, this is our Twitter segment of the show right off the bat. I'm gonna tweet at him, and then we'll talk about the game because we got some stuff to talk about.
See, the thing is, I think Myers is willing to forgive as long as they're not still being jerks about it. So the fact that Pinwheel Empire did the tribute video, he's probably cool with them now.
Yeah, but I'm gonna point it out. So you want to start talking about the game while I tweet this? What do you want to start off with?
Man, Gary Trent's been amazing.
What was his shooting line tonight?
Let's talk about Gary Trent. I'm gonna look it up. The thing I like about Trent, he's got. Dame's changed a little bit. Dame kind of gets excited and does his theatrics and stuff now, but Trent hit some big threes in this game, and he just turns around and runs back on defense. He doesn't celebrate. He doesn't have a little 3-point tap to the head or like an arrow shooting or tapping his wrist or anything like that. He just hits the three and gets back. He just goes to work and he doesn't really try to be all flashy and stuff. I really like that.
Yeah. He plays with a good pace. He's getting to his mid-range shot at a good, he's not a lot of guys will dribble very quickly into his mid-range shot. He sets it up by playing with a good pace and just being calm and slowly setting it up so that he's completely under control, completely on balance when he takes it. And he's been starting to hit a lot of mid-range shots just because of the pace he's played with. He gets rain off the line, but he kind of just slowly works his way to 15 feet, and then if he has a shot, he shoots. If not, he kicks out. He plays a good style of basketball, and my biggest critique of him before the season was, can he fit into a team construct? Is he going to be forcing too many bad shots? Can he play within the flow of the offense? He's answered those questions as much as possible because he literally just helps the flow of the offense, just fits in perfectly right now.
See, I almost like someone like him better than someone who dribbles too much because he never has that problem where he's going to come up and not pass at all. He either he tries to take to the hoop or he's just standing in the corner for threes. And I think with Dame, the way he's playing right now, that's so much better to just have the ball in Dame's hand and have there were multiple times where they sent a guy to the middle of the key waiting for Dame to drive and Trent was open. And I just think that's a lot better than having someone who also needs to control the ball in the game with him. And I know they played CJ with him at the end, so it didn't really matter that much. And this isn't meant to bash CJ. I'm just saying I almost kind of wish CJ was more of a catch and shoot player like Trent is right now. I think it would open up this offense a lot more than. Because every time we got in trouble and almost blew the lead tonight, it was because we went to ISO post-ups with Melo, CJ dribbling the ball, not passing. When players like Trent fit in play their roles, it just makes it so more obvious that as long as we go away from the ISO stuff, this offense is much better. And I just wish that
that's what drove me crazy
that.
About the crazy people that would say, oh, well, there's no statistical correlation between ball movement and... I got my mic stand. Hold on. That's why I couldn't stand the people that said, oh, there's no statistical correlation between offensive productivity and ball movement and assists. You know what I mean? There's no correlation. It's okay, step out of the classroom, step out of your stats class, go watch some basketball, go watch the Portland Trail Blazers, go educate yourself about basketball enough to realize what works on the court and what doesn't, because ball movement for us works. I don't care what the statistical correlation coefficient of 30 teams combined compared to assists is. That stuff drove me crazy. Anybody who has played basketball at a high level, I feel knows the value of ball movement. You know what I mean? Because I've never heard somebody that's really played ever say anything like that. It's stats guys, it's analytics guys, and I like my advanced stats. I'm analytical in a way. I was always good at math, but I also played. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna just completely rely on that. I feel people that haven't I don't know. I feel like a lot of people just completely fall back on that type of stuff for everything, and it just drives me crazy because this team looks a lot better now that it's finally moving the ball.
And we've mentioned this a lot, but it's not just assists. Like, yes, it's good to have assists, but like when everyone touches the ball, they just feel more involved in the game, and then like the defense improves, and like you just are more ready to shoot when you get the ball the next time if it's been like you see the ball almost every possession. But if you go like 10 possessions without Clays just wants to make sure everyone knows you played college basketball.
Why do you have to plug that for me? I wasn't even trying to like plug that. Like, he's hyping me up too much by pointing it out, man. No, I know, but that's my joke. I wasn't even mentioning that. See, I just said played at any sort of level, so I wasn't even going that high. But he wants to hype me up, saying he played college basketball. Like, okay, bro, you're flattering me. You're making me blush. Yes, I did.
But anyways, like if you touch the ball more often, then when you get a shot like Trent in the corner in a key situation, you're not like, oh no, I haven't touched the ball in like 10 possessions. Let me shoot this, like it just feels more natural when you touch it. And then the other thing is ball movement can lead to assist, yes, but it's like sometimes it's just as easy as throwing a cross-court pass, and it might not lead directly to a shot, but it scrambles the defense, and it could get someone in a position to score. Then if you miss that shot, like the defenders aren't in position to get a rebound, so you might get an offensive rebound that you wouldn't have gotten otherwise. I mean,
like you might not that cross-court pass might not lead to an assist, but like the pass itself could lead to a score. You know what I mean? Because like if you throw a cross-court pass, defense is scrambling, kind of runs out at the shooter too hard, he pumps fakes, dribbles into the lane and a reverse lay-in, like that might not register as an assist, but that pass set up that drive to set up that lay-in. You know what I mean? Like, that's why you got to watch the game. That's why you can't just base everything off like a stat that's based on 30 teams, a collection of 30 different teams that are made up of completely different sets of players. Like, yeah, I hate that.
Yeah. But like at the same time, when you have a player hot as Dame, it's like hard to say like he shouldn't be like shooting every time though too,
Everybody just has a better rhythm though.
But some of that is
that's how you have Gary Trent Jr. having shooting lights like tonight. That's how you have Trevor Ariza having a 19-point first half. Like guys are touching the ball, they're seeing the ball, so they have a much better rhythm than they did earlier in the season. And it's not necessarily based off having players. That's why I say if we just tried to move the ball like this earlier in the season, we wouldn't have dropped as many games. We'd be fighting for 6th and 7th seed right now. We'd be looking at the possibility of catching Houston. That's why it was so frustrating, because even the bench lineup with Gary Trent Jr., Caleb Swanigan, even when Wenyen Gabriel was in there a little bit, with CJ and I don't know, throw in another random player, even with those guys, the ball is still moving better. Caleb had a nice pass to Ariza who cut to the rim. Like, it doesn't matter who's out there on the court. Overall, right now, we're moving the ball no matter what. And that just goes to show, in my opinion, that we could have did it earlier this season, that injuries wasn't the reason we weren't moving the ball better, cutting better, that type of thing.
You're muted. You always say how, but mic disconnected.
Yeah, I pulled. Okay, I gotta. Let me. If that happens again, I'm. No.
Can you guys hear me or just
my? Okay, so the problem with my mic cord is it like only plugs in halfway. It's a USB, but it only plugs in halfway, so I have to like shove it down in there, and I pulled my headphones and it like pulled it out. So if that happens again, I might have to like switch the inputs, like freeze my camera for a second and fix that. But I think I was out for like 5 seconds, I think. So they heard my point, and I'll let you respond to that.
Yeah. So I noticed Dame a couple times tonight, like purposely went up to Gary Trent like at a timeout or like after a dead ball or something, and he was just like, yeah, Gary, that's what we need from you, like it was pumping Dame up to see him make those shots and stuff. we're lagging a bit. Um, Tori can't charge his phone, plug in his bike.
Why'd you say we were
Struggle is
lagging?
real. Uh, it was just lagging for a second on my end.
I
That might
hate
have just
when
been my
people do that.
computer,
When their internet will lag for a second, they'll be like, "Oh, the stream's lagging. The stream's
Yeah.
lag," and everybody else is like, "No," and I'm like, "No, we're
Well,
fine." I'll be looking at mine. Mine will be smooth. So,
Yeah.
um,
But yeah, like you could tell that Dame's like relieved to have someone stepping up and hitting these shots, especially with uh
shut up, Mario, man.
like CJ's been struggling a little bit lately. It'd be nice if they were both on fire at the same time, but it's nice to have Trent stepping up because he's been huge these last couple, like 10 games
Time
or
for a
so.
donation plug for a new mic and phone. I'd use it on something else. No, it's not the mic. The cord's usually fine. It just every now and then it's just plugged into to the different port. It plugs in more into one port, and I just have it backwards. So, anyway, y'all gotta quit trolling. We're trying to talk hoop. You guys are trying to troll me. That's the thing. They couldn't troll me on trade deadline day and like leading up to the trade deadline day. So now they're like making up for lost time.
Yeah, they got to get all out of it. Yeah. Trent was 8 of 11 overall, 5 of 7
Just
from
super
3.
efficient,
By the way,
man. He is
yep.
honestly, like lately, he has been like what Seth Curry was for us. You know what I mean? Like we don't miss Seth Curry with Gary Trent playing like this. You know, maybe miss Seth Curry's like ball handling a little bit, but like Gary Trent Jr. shooting like this is and playing defense decently, like hustling on that end, still could get better. But for a second-year player, 20-year-old who wasn't touted for his defense coming into the league, to be playing defense like this, shooting like this, like he's a 3-and-D player. He's a legit 3-and-D player. Like I didn't think I'd be saying that this year, and he's developed into what I hoped he would be, and he developed into it a couple years sooner than I expected. So, and it's just interesting, like projecting the roster into next year. You know, I don't want to get ahead of myself for too long here, but just looking next year, like he should probably be part of the rotation. So, I mean, like he might end up being over Hood. I mean, I don't know. It's just it's been interesting to watch him progress, and I just wonder like how long can he keep this shooting up for? How effective, will he be this effective? Will he improve defensively even more? Like, it's just going to be interesting to watch him continue to develop. But right now, when he's playing like this, shooting like this, I'm loving it. I'm loving his hustle. I'm loving his defense. I'm loving his shot making. I'm loving the pace he plays with. He has become one of my favorite players to watch play on the team. And if you remember the way I was this summer and like the start of the season, that's a complete 180, man.
And he's only making like 1.66 million next year, so it's nice to have someone with that production. Dirt cheap. It helps us, stay out of the tax and field a good team and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm really hoping he continues this. I mean, we've talked about this all along. His rookie year last year, he got a couple of chances, not really consistent minutes, but it seemed like he couldn't hit a three to save his life when he had those opportunities, and kind of struggled at times at the beginning of this year with some opportunities too. But lately,
I think
man,
he just finally got that confidence he needed to consistently knock down shots. Yeah.
His form is really nice though, and he's, like I said, he doesn't get too excited when he gets the ball. He has that nice demeanor that's calm like Dame. And he just shoots it.
And that's like his getting to his mid-range. That's how he is. He gets to it so calmly and so under control and so just at his own pace. It's like he gets to his mid-range shot like a veteran would. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. It's just he's an impressive player for being. Oh, I guess he just turned 21, but he's an impressive player for being 21. I'm kind of wondering what his ceiling is like. But he's giving me Wes Matthews vibes, to be honest. I feel like he kind of shoots like Wes a little bit, kind of has a similar play style on both sides of the ball even, which I didn't expect to say defensively, but he gets after it like Wes did defensively. Obviously not to the same level as Wes in his prime, but just he gives me like those vibes. Yeah. He's the first player to give me those vibes since Wes was here, and maybe it's because he wears number 2 as well. But
I mean, yeah, if he can turn out
I
like
mean,
Wes, that'd be great.
I don't see I don't see any reason why he
Um,
can't. You know, he's already shown he's dedicated to the defensive end, has the motor to defend, and like he's talked about how he watched a ton of film and put in a lot of work on the defensive end this year. You know, it's what we wanted from Dame and CJ for years, and Gary Trent Jr. made a defensive leap that I haven't seen from a Blazer guard really ever, honestly, because he was not, he just like looks completely different on that end, which is to be expected, but you can tell he put in some work this summer to improve.
well, his dad was always saying like you need to focus on defense. You need to make your mark on defense. Yeah, offense is cool, but like if you can't play defense, you're not going to make it in this league. So it's been good for him, I think, to have an influence like that knows the game and has taught him at a young age that he needs
Yep.
to work on defense and stuff. But like his hands, he just grabs balls like away from people, and it's he's got that fight in him too, like that, like he does the dirty work. Like he don't. I know he kind of lost the ball, but diving on the floor after the ball,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah, it's good to see. Fortunately, he was the only one from our bench that
He's the
scored
only
tonight,
one.
but I guess it doesn't really. Yeah, everyone else was got zeros. Well, Hazonia got hurt. That was probably. I mean, you don't like to see
I mean, the
injuries,
other two
but
guys were Gabriel
him not playing
and
probably helped us a little bit.
I mean, Hazonia
Swanigan.
botched.
Yeah,
Hazonia
Swanigan
made a
didn't even
really
take
good
a shot.
move driving through three people to get to the rim, and he could have like finger rolled it right at the rim, and
Yeah.
instead he like cuffed it in his opposite hand, like his left hand, and tried to like hook it over his head and missed. You know what I mean? It's just like plays like
Yeah.
that just make me scratch my head because like, dude, okay, that was a good drive. You got to the rim, and it's like the rim's like right there for your right hand. You could probably dunk it with your right hand. Instead, he like goes like this and then tries to be super finesse and like almost like. I wouldn't say necessarily flashy, but like puts like it's just too extra with it. Instead of just dunking it or laying it up at the rim, he cuffs it to his left and flicks it up over his head and misses it. And it's just like that is Mario Hazonia for you. It's like watching Myers Leonard in the version of a wing, in my opinion. Just some of the stuff is just
Yeah.
like, why would you shoot it like that?
That's funny. Randall Pink Floyd said, "Funny Trent didn't get anointed by Olshey as the second coming." Yeah, they've always said that Trent's been everything they've wanted from him so far, and that he's making progress and stuff. But yeah, he doesn't get the hype because he doesn't have the. He's not crazy athletic like Simons. Like that might limit his potential a little bit. Simons definitely has the higher ceiling, but Trent's just gonna he's built to be a solid NBA
So
rotational
after
player.
tonight's game, let me do the math on this on this field goal percentage. I'm looking at Gary.
Looking at Dame.
Let me do the math on this field goal
Oh,
percentage.
so Cyberpunk, I got to call him out of on the chat. He was saying that Dame just didn't have it tonight or
What?
something earlier in the chat.
Dame had
It's
30 33 and 8,
33,
shooting
33,
11
8,
for
and
23 and 6 for 15 from the three-point line. That's 40% from the three-point line. That's like 11 divided by 23. That's 48% from the field, 40% from the three-point line, 33 points, 8 assists. That's the thing. Dame has raised his expectations so high that like imagine if imagine if somebody averaged 33 points per game and 8 assists per game on 48% from the field and 40% from 3 for a season. They would probably be like that. That's MVP. You know what I mean? That's like if he had this game consistently, he'd like this is a better than average game for him this year. You know what I mean? But like his hot stretch lately is like, oh, Dame didn't do much today. He didn't have 50 on 10 threes, you know?
But okay, so even if he was, that's kind of Torrey's point. Like he's only averaging 45 over the last couple weeks, and that's gone down since he had a couple of mid-20s games. But yeah, like it's crazy that 33 points is like he only got 33.
She says Gary Trent was a steal, late second-round pick. He was an early second-round pick, 37th, but yeah, I didn't like the pick at the time, but I was wrong on that. That was a good pickup. Yeah, I don't. He did well. He just didn't go balls out today, in my honest opinion. That's a better way to phrase it. Yes, he didn't go nuclear and insane like he has. Instead, he had a really solid game. Yeah,
he had some good
like
moments,
Dame moments,
though,
but like compared to like lately where he's been going insane, he didn't go insane. He just had a typical, honestly, that was like a typical Dame game this year, which is a really, really good game because he's been insane this year. He's like 30-8. He's averaging 30-8 on like 46% from the field and almost 40% from three. I think he needed to make one more three, and he would have been above 40% for this game. But I did the math for Gary Trent Jr.'s percentages just out of curiosity. He's shooting 44% from the field and 42.3% from three after this game. That's crazy efficient. That's he's better than Allen Crabbe ever was. Because Crabbe didn't play defense. People thought he played defense because he was like lanky and like looked like he should be a good defender. But like Gary Trent Jr. is better than Allen Crabbe ever was for us. I will go out and say that right now because he does it on both ends.
But Crabbe's last season here, I got in so many arguments with people who were like, dump CJ and make Crabbe the starter and all that stuff. Like the defense would be so much better. I'm like, have you looked at the statistics when Crabbe was on the floor versus off the floor? Like,
well, now we're getting that argument with
CJ.
Gary. Start Gary Trent now and dump C. It's like every time Gary Trent Jr. has a good game and CJ kind of struggles, that's the conversation, and it gets kind of tiresome because one, they're never going to do it. Two, it's not the right decision. CJ McCollum is better than Gary Trent. You can stagger CJ with the bench and sub Gary Trent Jr. in early or in the middle part of the first quarter, and he'll play some defense against some starters. But it's like, why is defense against the starters more valuable than defense against the bench unit? You know what I mean? Like CJ still deserves 35 minutes a game or something like that. If you bring CJ off the bench and sub him in, 6 minutes into each half, then he has to play 18 minutes to end each half to get to 36 minutes per game, and then he's gassed. If you sub him in earlier in each half, where he's subbing in 3-4 minutes into the half, then there's no point in even bringing him off the bench because he's subbing in so early. He's still playing a ton of minutes against starters, you know what I mean? So it just doesn't make sense. People that say lineup balance, it's like, you don't give your best players less minutes just for lineup balance reasons. That's always been a bit overstated in my opinion. And people, CJ doesn't fit in the starting lineup next to Dame. He and Dame play good off each other. CJ's been struggling a little bit lately, so this conversation, and Gary Trent Jr. has been playing well, so this conversation is starting to ramp up again about, bench CJ and start this guy. We heard it about Wade Baldwin. People were saying start Wade Baldwin and bring CJ off the bench. It's always somebody. You know what I mean? Like, it's just frustrating. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I don't know what okay, so I'm not saying Josh is saying you were just making an argument having Gary Trent over a ball dominant player a la CJ. I'm not saying like the whole game. Like I'm saying in certain situations it's better to have a straight shooter that isn't ball dominant. And if CJ could ever play a little bit more like Gary Trent when he's in the game with Dame, and then play more like CJ when he's not in the game with Dame, when he's running with the second unit, I think that would make the team a lot better. But I'm not saying that Trent should be starting over CJ. I'm just saying when Dame's on fire, it's better to not have possessions where someone else is dribbling too much and taking it's like a fluid situation. I'm not saying one is
the counter to that is when Dame gets on fire, he gets double teamed, triple teamed more, and he gets taken away more. So you need that second guy that can consistently create their own shot at a decent level. The problem is CJ's efficiency, like since that first 10-game slump, it had been solid, I think like a 56 true shooting percentage, 56.5, which is like good for a guy that creates his own shot, shoots some tough shots, whatever. He's been slumping a little bit lately, but overall, like CJ's a guy that he will shoot you out of some games and struggle, but more often than not, he's a guy that can go get his own shot at a pretty high level. So when defenses take away Dame, he makes them pay, and he's kind of that second guy that can create something out of nothing.
And let's talk about this after more of a 10-game sample size than just saying CJ's Monte Ellis and Trent's Klay Thompson, and that we need to trade CJ to make room for Klay.
Yeah,
it's a little different right now.
I'm hyping up Gary Trent Jr., but we need to continue to see this. You know what I mean? And obviously, he's not going to shoot 8 for 11 every game.
Yeah, and here's the problem: like, we have not been very deep all year. Like, we need this depth. Like, we don't need to choose one or the other. We need them both, and they're both going to be valuable to us. And at the end of games, we have situations where we could have 2 players who can create shots off the dribble, and one player that's a lights out shooter in the corner. That I think that helps in all areas. And then I like what Ariza's bringing to the team as well. But yeah, because people were saying this after Simon's hot start to the season, like, oh, we don't need CJ anymore. But I think what's more clear about this than the CJ versus Trent argument is that Simons is going to have to learn to play point if Trent continues this, because they can't both play shooting guard, and Trent can play small forward a little bit, but if only he'd grow like a couple more inches, like it'd be perfect. But like you can see the difference between him and a guy like Ariza, who has like a ton of length and could consistently do it. Trent could play small forward against a lot of teams, but it just helps to have look how many passes Ariza tips or is like playing the passing lane for. And Trent's good at steals too lately, but I just want to see it more consistently over the 10-game stretch. But he's been playing phenomenal.
CJ for Oubre and Rubio would be a bad trade. RIP Blazers suggested that. No. I mean that'd be it. One, they're not going to do that. Two, I mean, like you're talking about getting a guy with Oubre who, I mean, like, I like Oubre because of his potential, you know what I mean? And he's inconsistent, but when he's on, he's a good player. But he's less efficient than CJ. Oubre shoots like 34% from the 3-point line, and he's like an average defender, you know what I mean? So, okay, Oubre's brought his 3-point percentage up to 36%, but he is honestly, like, I don't know. It doesn't make the team better. It doesn't make the team better. I don't know. You don't trade CJ unless you're getting back somebody better. We need more top-level talent. So, like, when people say, let's trade CJ for, like, Aaron Gordon or CJ for Oubre and Rubio, like, we need to trade for high-level talent, not trade our high-level talent for less talent.
And people keep saying, like, we need to trade CJ for a small forward that's a 3-and-D small forward. Well, I'm sick of people just saying that without coming up with an idea, like, because those guys don't exist for a trade with for CJ. Like CJ for DeMar DeRozan, no, that's first of all, I think DeMar is going to opt out, so he'll be a free agent this summer. But like that's just a lateral move. Like DeMar doesn't play defense either, and he doesn't shoot the 3 well, so it's actually like a worse fit on this roster.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They're not going to trade CJ anyway, but like I don't really want to trade CJ. You know, I was kind of with the CJ trade talk. They're not going to trade Drew Holiday for CJ. People keep saying that. Why would the Pelicans do that? That doesn't make sense. They're not going to do that. And like the Beal for CJ and stuff like that. Like those teams aren't going to trade CJ in first for Middleton if Bucks don't win finals this year. Why would the Bucks do that? Why would they trade Middleton for a downgrade who doesn't fit as well, who isn't like a big defender? Like Middleton helps their defensive versatility, like in terms of switching, in terms of having big versatile defenders. Like why would Milwaukee trade that for CJ and a late first round pick? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense for those teams. And Jake says CJ for Drew or Beal doesn't make sense unless we attach Simons or Collins. And I agree, like, okay, maybe we could talk if we attach one of those guys, but I don't want to attach one of those guys to CJ because it's not, like, clear enough of an upgrade. Beal has struggled defensively this year, and Beal has struggled in terms of his efficiency. And I'm not sure Beal is really, like, is noticeably better than CJ, to be honest. I mean, obviously it's situation, but like you don't trade CJ unless you get back a guy is better. Is better. Drew is better defensively, but I think he offensively he doesn't help us. You know what I mean? And it doesn't make sense to give up a prospect like Simons or Collins in order to make that swap.
Yeah. And this is all irrelevant because, I mean, it's never even crossed Olshay's mind to trade CJ. So as long as he's still the GM, it's not going to happen.
It's just I don't like fans. I'm just trying to shut down this conversation because fans have this conversation too much. Blazer fans have the tendency to like overreact a little bit. We've seen it all season on Hassan Whiteside. One game he's, God, I can't stand Hassan Whiteside. We definitely need to trade him based on how he's playing. And then a couple games later, oh, is he better than Nurk? Maybe we should trade Nurk. And then, you know what I mean? It's like back and forth. Just based on his play. Now you have Gary Trent string together 10 good games while CJ's kind of slumping a little bit. And it's bench CJ for Trent. At the start of the season, CJ had a first 10 games he slumped and Simons was killing it, and it was bench CJ for Simons. Like it's not gonna happen. CJ's not getting traded, and let's not overreact to small sample size. Let's not overvalue lineup fit over talent. You know what I mean? Because like if we have a Gary Trent Jr. in there in Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals last year, we lose that game. We needed somebody to go off like CJ did to create their own shot and get hot like that. If we didn't have CJ doing that, we'd lose that game by 10 points. You know what I mean? He dropped 37 points. Pitcher Writer Truth News says trade season is over. Let's stop talking trades until near the season's end. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. It's just It's like just a whole part of the CJ conversation. You know what I mean? It's kind of, we're talking about the conversation that's always surrounding CJ year in, year out. But yeah, we lose that Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals without CJ.
Yep. And this is what I'll say about the CJ thing versus Trent. As we get better defensively, if we get better wings defensively, then you can have situations where CJ doesn't have to be in the game on defensive possessions late in the game, and that might open it up a little bit. And that's one of the problems we have is like, especially this season, a lot of close games we lost. We had Damon CJ and, Bazemore and who has been a Mello and Whiteside in at the end of games. And that's just, other than Whiteside, that's like a terrible defensive lineup, right? So like we score and then we give up a shot and then we score again and then we give up a shot. So like we never get stops. But now you got Ariza, you got Trent stepping up, Whiteside still man in the middle. Like now it's starting to look like we have some options defensively at the end where we don't necessarily have to play CJ and Mello. And I think at the end of this game, Mello was on the bench, which was I'm not saying he should be benched, but like in late game situations when we're up 6 or something like that or 5 like tonight, and the other team has the ball, there's no reason to have like Mello and CJ in the game in those situations if you have better defensive options. So like situationally it could improve that way, but like I don't think it's to the point where you drastically need to like switch your rotations and do a lot of stuff.
When I don't know, you can tell like early on in the game if CJ kind of like has it tonight or maybe doesn't have it. Like you could sub CJ out 4.5, 5 minutes into the game and sub in Trent if CJ kind of like struggles to start the game and you need a defender, you maybe try Trent, see if he can get hot, and then you sub CJ back in with the bench. Like you can be flexible with your lineups and you can like play certain guys against, like you could stop ending halves with CJ, you know what I mean? Like, or not ending the second half necessarily, but like ending the first half. CJ doesn't have to end the first half, you know what I mean? Like the thing is, if you bench CJ, then he has to play the final like 6-7 minutes of the first half, which is basically ending the half against starters. So like, why not start CJ without screwing anything up, and then at the end of the first half, you maybe sort it out. So rotation wise, where CJ's still playing 36 minutes, and maybe the last 4 minutes of the first half he's not in the game, and he gets 2 minutes, 3 minutes of rest maybe at the end of the first quarter, so that he's not playing against starters at the end of the half.
So, yeah. Here's interesting. So Clay says TJ's too big of a name contract to accept being on the bench in crunch time. Don't think he would be happy. And once again, it's just situationally. I'm not saying like bench him for the whole fourth quarter or anything like that. But this brings us back to the Whiteside and Nurkic thing. Like, do you think one of those guys is going to be happy playing off the bench and not being in there in the crunch, or not being the man, the starting center versus the backup center, or like some games like not getting to be in at the end, and then if we lose, then they'll be even more mad and stuff like that. So like this is going to be the problem. Like this situation is going to be magnified if we keep Whiteside next year. And unfortunately, that's probably the best route now that we kept him, to keep him that way. I just don't see any way like this can all work out. And unfortunately for the coach, if he does do that, he's not putting his team in the best chance to win if he's not playing the best defensive players. Like when we're up 5 at the end of a game, when there's a minute left, you're up 2 scores. You don't need your worst defenders in there that are good at offense. Like that's not what you need to have happen. You need to stop. And it didn't work out for the Heat tonight, but we didn't switch the picks again, and they ran that same play that Philly ran against us and got an open three for their best three-point shooter in the corner.
The ball, it's like, oh, the Furkan play.
Yep. And luckily he missed it. They got it back. Dragic missed a 3, and they got it back again, and Robinson missed another 3. But, like, it's situations like that where if we had – I guarantee you if we had, like, different defenders and not CJ in the game,
Granted,
like,
we didn't really have options, but he always plays CJ on defensive possessions. It will be, like, 2 seconds left of defensive possession. He'll play CJ over guys like – over much better defenders, over a guy like Turner in the past, you know? Like, Turner sucks, but defensively, 2 seconds left, I'd rather have Evan Turner in there playing defense than CJ McCollum, you know what I mean? It's just, like, that's common sense to me. I mean, like, tonight, you know, when your options off the bench are Swanigan, Gabriel, and Trent, put Trent in the game, but then who do you bring out? Do you bring out Melo or do you bring out CJ? If you bring out Melo, you can switch a little bit more. So I'd bring out Melo instead. You know, so not many options tonight, but he always keeps CJ in, and it just doesn't make sense. Just the situational stuff. This is getting into another thing. Just the situational stuff doesn't make sense to me. The situational defense, the end of game management has never made sense to me from Terry Stotts. It's one of the things I've been critical of. It hasn't really reared its head lately, but that Philly game is one we should have won and shouldn't have given away just because of that very play. We should be 26-28 right now, and
the rest,
you know what I mean? And then if we,
game.
you know, but like if we didn't, I don't know, just going back to overall style of play, you know, our style of plays, if we played the style of basketball and played, I don't know, like our defense still sucks, but offensively, if we played the style of offense like throughout the season, which I think we are capable of even with the injuries, I think we'd be, I don't know, 31 and 23. I think that would be our record because we gave away a lot of games we shouldn't have given away, and it was mostly like Dame couldn't get hot, Dame was struggling, but the offense had no rhythm, had very little movement. You know what I mean? Like it's been better. You know who knows why it's better? You know, I mean, like maybe it's coaching, maybe it's the Ariza effect is probably a combination of those things. You know, like this is how we should be playing. That's why I'm not sitting here giving Stotts props. This is how we should be playing. But, you know, obviously I haven't been critical of Stotts for our offense because our offense just looks better.
So Emerson says he disagrees on erasing Melo ISO on our plays. This will be handy when the ball game slows down. Also, he's getting double teamed. He just needs to do the right play. I do agree that there is a time and place for a couple ISO Melos. It drives me crazy. Like the first 2 times he got into the paint, he got a lay-in and like a little turnaround jumper, like 2-foot jumper. And makes both of them. And then for the rest of the game, he settled
Yeah.
for, the fadeaway turnaround jump shot with the guy in his face and stuff like that. And a couple of times in the second half, he was trying to go against Jay Crowder, who is a lot tougher than trying to post up Duncan Robinson or whatever. And we come out of the timeouts and run ISO post up for Melo. Like, I don't like that.
Yeah,
run a set out of the like, go to that, say, okay, we're gonna run this set now first, and then next play post up Melo, or then you have two plays you can run instead of just
Terry
one.
Stotts is such a great coach at drawing up plays out of timeouts, but a lot of plays out of timeouts have been just dump it into Melo and don't do anything. Like, that's not a great play out of a timeout. That's literally just throwing it to a guy and telling him go do something. And that's my I have the same critique of Melo. He settles too much for mid-range jumpers when he could attack, and he's been good when he's attacked out of isolation. I like the 15-foot isolations he's gotten out of face-ups, that spin move baseline he hasn't really pulled out lately, and that was effective for him almost every time he goes to that spin move. It works for him. He gets the line, or he gets a very good shot off inside, and he settles too much for mid-range jumpers. So it's like, yeah, let Melo be Melo, but it's like, dude, just attack, man. Just attack. Like, quit settling for these mid-range jumpers. If a guy's sagging off on you so much because he's scared of you attacking that you can just easily face up and shoot it, then shoot it. You know what I mean? But guys don't sag off on him like that. Guys guard him there, and he could just attack them and get better buckets. So if he was attacking more, I'd be more inclined to say yes, more, completely fine with Melo ISOs. I think the coaching staff, though, just needs to be on him like, dude, attack, quit selling for mid-range jumpers, attack the rim. You're effective when you attack the rim, I think it's more not necessarily the fact that they're isolating him, it's more of what he's doing when he's getting those isolations and what he's electing to shoot.
The ones that drive me crazy is when he obviously is going to shoot a turnaround, but he can't get any space, and he's like probably 18 feet away from the hoop, and he still turns around and shoots it anyway instead of like passing in those situations. And sometimes you can pass and then go repost up and get like a 12-foot turnaround instead of an 18-foot one, and it's a lot easier shot. So I just wish he would do every time lately, especially in the second half tonight when he got the ball. I was like, do your spin baseline. And he hardly ever does it. But like every time he spins baseline, he gets to the rim and has a lay-in. But he rarely goes to it. And it bugs me. It's like it's there. Like you can see how much space is there baseline if he just goes baseline. But it's frustrating, especially when like you see the moments where the ball movement is working so well, and then the start of the second quarter when CJ and Melo come back in and Dame is out, and then the ball movement just goes away for 10 possessions in a row, and we like tonight, I think we scored like 9 points in the first 6 minutes of the second quarter or something, and it's just like if those guys aren't making tough shots, it just nothing's going on the offense, and I just wish, like, no matter who was in the game, we kind of played the same way. Let CJ try to like play the Dame role, but the reason why Dame is so good is he's averaging close to 10 assists during this hot stretch, as well as scoring like 40 plus points. It's not just that he's shooting like 40 times a game and high volume shooting. He's like passing, so he's always a threat to pass, and that would open up both Melo and CJ's game so much more if they just were a threat to pass more often. Just that little extra second you have where the defender's not sure if you're going to pass or shoot makes your shot that much easier.
But offense has been good. It definitely isn't the issue. It's been better since we've been moving the ball more. We've started moving the ball more. I mean, in I don't know, when you look at Dame's stats, man, when you round his stats, right now he's averaging 30 points per game, getting 8 assists per game, shooting over 46% from the field and 40% from 3. He's shooting 53% from 2 if you round that up, and he's shooting about 62.5% true shooting percentage, and getting that that wins you MVP some previous seasons. You know what I mean? Like, you got guys you got Giannis putting up crazy stats and Harden scoring how he is, but like, if Dame does that in the year Derrick Rose won MVP and Dame's team was like a top 3 or 4 seed, Dame wins MVP. You know what I mean? Like Steph Curry, like it rivals Steph Curry's best season. I think Steph Curry, let me look it up. Steph Curry's best season, he got 30 points per game, 7 assists per game, shot 50% from the field and 45% from three. So like that's the thing with Steph, he's just crazy efficient. You know, that's why he's so insane, but like other than that, like Dame's efficiency is pretty close to that. It's approaching that the way he's playing right now. And assists per game, like his playmaking's better than Steph's. You know what I mean? Like he's close to like prime Steph Curry. Like Steph Curry's best season, I think Dame is close to that. And he's playing up to that right now in this latest stretch. And we're talking about a Steph Curry who's won 2 MVPs and was a unanimous MVP one of those seasons. So that's the thing. It's like we got MVP caliber player who's playing like a top 3-4 player in the league right now. I mean, like this previous stretch, maybe he's probably the best player in the league, but overall for his season, he's a top 5 player in the league. Like he is playing better than Anthony Davis. He's playing better than Paul George, playing better than Joel Embiid. Like I don't know who you'd put over him other than like LeBron, Giannis, and Kawhi. I wouldn't even put Harden over him at this point. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I mean.
I'd put him tied fourth with Harden.
The only person I could say is, I mean, I don't know how much the injuries factor into this, but I mean, Luka's right up there too.
Dame has been better than Luka. Let me look up Luka's stats because everybody's giving Luka a bunch of love, acting like he passed up Dame, but Luka's getting 29 points per game, little under 9 assists. He's shooting 46% from the field and 32% from three. True shooting percentage is 59%. And Luka's like he's getting
how many rebounds?
8 rebounds per game, but you're talking about a 6-7 player. Like I don't really value that all that much. Dame doesn't go chase rebounds or really go in there hard. Dame could go average like 7 rebounds per game. You know what I mean? Like,
but part of it's like you always get bumped up when you're not supposed to make the playoffs and you are in the mix for home court advantage,
I just think if you put Dame on that team instead of Doncic, they're not any worse, they're better. You know what I mean? You got value in Dame's leadership and stuff. Like I think Dame's the 4th best player in the league right now. You know what I mean? And some people might say, "Oh, you're not giving him enough respect," but like I think he's like Harden level. You know, I think he's like Harden, Steph, like that tier. I think he's in that tier. You can argue like one of them's better than the other, but I think they're all in the same tier. I missed a $5. Where's the $5 donation? Shout out to First P Last JL with the $5 donation. He says, "Who do you think the Blazers match up better with, Lakers or Clippers?" I think the Lakers, because if Collins is back, Nurkic is back. With Whiteside, like they have the size to combat the Lakers front court because the Lakers play Anthony Davis at the 4, JaVale McGee at the 5, got Dwight Howard, you know what I mean? So, and Ariza, I think, is a pretty good person to put on LeBron. He's played against him for pretty much his whole career. And then we have the firepower to go against him. I think we actually match up I think we match up maybe as good as any team against the Lakers just because of our front court size and defense. If we're healthy, we have to get healthy. But what do you think, Eric?
Yeah, I don't think we match up against the 2 main guys on the Clippers. The rest of the team, I think, we match up better. But if you just want to, it's tough because we don't really match up great unless we're 100% healthy, like Clay says, with the Lakers 2 guys either. But yeah, Kawhi and Paul George are just so tough to beat, and now that we have Ariza, it's a little better, but we just don't have the wings to consistently guard those guys.
Yeah, I agree. And on the other end, like height like that, defenders like that give us a lot of trouble. Having 2 of them.
In the playoffs, I think they're both.
So I'd rather play the Lakers. If it comes down to Lakers are the 1 seed, Clippers are the 2 seed, I actually rather have the 8 seed than the 7 seed. I think we probably end up losing either way, but I mean. I honestly think we'd have a chance against the Lakers. It wouldn't be like when we were the 8 seed against the Warriors, a couple years ago, 3 years ago.
as much as I don't like keeping Whiteside, I kept thinking tonight, like, what if Nurk was playing
Yeah.
Swanigan's minutes?
Well,
Like,
that
you know
yeah,
how
that's
much
a
different that
conversation to
would be?
have. Like if healthy, are we sure that it's better? The hell, playing guitar.
That was my daughter. Sorry, no, my daughter's
um,
phone is going
but
off.
if both
Sorry.
are healthy, are we sure it's better to start Nurkic and bring Whiteside off the bench? Because I think Whiteside is more dependent on Lillard's playmaking than Nurkic is. Like Nurkic and Dame have like insane chemistry, but I feel like Whiteside is more dependent on Dame's playmaking. Where if you play Nurkic with the bench, he can open up a lot of things offensively with his playmaking, since you don't have Dame to do everything.
I I think this season for sure you bring Nurk off
But
the
if they're both
bench.
healthy and both playing,
Um, if this season, no matter what, I think
mm-hmm.
you bring Nurk off the bench. Next year might be a conversation, but if Dame's going to play the whole first quarter, what you do is you sub one of them out at 6 minutes, and you let
Yeah.
unless they're like killing it, and then so you give one person 6 minutes with him and one person 6 minutes without him, and then you leave whoever is best without
I
him.
think I think you do
I
it.
mean, it'll be once you get a bigger
Mm-hmm.
sample size, you'd know who was better. But we haven't seen Whiteside play much without Lillard this year. They've only missed a couple of games where both of them weren't out or one or the other was out. So like, um, I I kind of want to see Whiteside play with the second unit first before I
Yeah.
make
Well, I
that
think I think
decision
what you could
completely. But
do honestly is so 6 minute blocks per se in the first half. Yeah, like you said, you start Nurkic for the first 6 minutes, and then for the last 6 minutes of the first quarter, you sub in Whiteside, and he plays 6 minutes with Dame. Dame finishes the first quarter. Whiteside finishes the first quarter after his 6 minute stretch. Then you put Nurkic back in to play 6 minutes with the bench lineup. You stagger him and CJ in that way, basically. And Nurkic plays 6 minutes with the bench lineup, and then Whiteside finishes the first half with the starters back with Dame. But in the second half, you'd probably end up leaving or you'd probably have it in a way where Nurkic finishes the game, or basically whoever plays better finishes the game. I don't know exactly how you do it, but it'll just be interesting to see how that'll work
yeah.
out if they keep Whiteside. I was just thinking about that today, though.
Oh wait. They're both gonna play together, right? So they're both starting.
Man, it better not be nothing more than like, okay, like 1 minute a game, they'll throw them out there just to see what happens. Just tell them both go crash the glass hard. Maybe have like a set designed that incorporates both of them and both of their offensive strengths or something. I don't know. Like it literally can't be more than that. You cannot run more than like a couple possessions with those guys next to each other. You're there because maybe it could shock a team for a possession or two, or maybe a team struggles for a possession or two. But like their teams are going to adjust and expose those guys if they play together.
Well, the the thing is, we're terrible. I mean, how many times does Whiteside? I know he's not really a post up player, but like we don't
Mm-hmm.
exploit mismatches when they our centers get like we've played a lineup with Swanigan and Whiteside, and not once did we go inside for like 8 minutes with that lineup in that game. We didn't like try posting one of those two up or like I'm not saying they're good post up players, but like what's the point of having size
Yeah.
if we're not exploiting that size? So in order for that to work, you'd have to really exploit the
And
size.
defensively, yeah, defensively, both guys
And
just love
like
to sit in the
Jake,
paint too. So
right? And Jake points out Nurk plays in the high post well, so like it wouldn't be like a spacing issue probably. Like if one of those could consistently hit
it would
outside
be a
jumpers,
space.
that would
It would be
help
a
too.
spacing
But
issue if you were like
Nurk,
if Dame had the ball or CJ had the ball. If you ran something with both of those, like some high low
right?
action with Nurk high post, Whiteside low post, then it wouldn't be an issue. So that's what I mean by like maybe you could play them for a minute and like run a set that incorporates both of them in their strengths. So like a Nurk high post, Whiteside low post, weak side ducking type of action like that. And then you sub one of them
And
out, and then you run what you normally do through the guards and through Nurkic or whatever.
they they should only play them to run that one play. We haven't run it much this year, where You know, they from the
Yeah.
baseline they throw the ball to the free throw line, and then the other big seals the
Yeah.
post and they dump it into him. It's like they ran it like too much last year and it became predictable, but like that play would kill with those two. If you throw it to the free throw line to Nurk and then he
Maybe
dumps
that's
it
just
down
because
to
they don't have like
Whiteside
a power
for
forward that
a
can really
steal.
like throw that pass. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I think they did it the first couple games
Yeah.
with Collins, but yeah, so you're
Um,
probably right on that one.
but yeah, no, it'll just be interesting to see what happens for sure.
Russell first round exit Westbrook says talk yourself into a 1 minute per game and pretty
Yeah,
soon Nurkic is the
exactly.
starting power forward.
1 minute per game, which is basically irrelevant, or like 1 minute per half. I don't know, but those guys can't play together, you know. So I don't know. I was just thinking about like who would be the better, because like that's more of a fit like question than CJ in my opinion, because like Nurkic and
I
Whiteside have like are like comparable talent levels. You know, if CJ and Trent were comparable talent wise, then that conversation might be justified, but CJ's better. You know, CJ's noticeably better than Trent still. So that's why I'm not, gonna have that conversation. And CJ's been the starter for 5 years. Meanwhile, you have Nurkic, who's kind of been in and out of the lineup, and then Whiteside, who's been the starter this whole entire season, basically. And Nurkic will probably come back, play limited minutes off the bench, and they're comparable talents. So that's like a different type of conversation. So,
yeah, for sure.
overall, just going to be interesting to see how those guys work. We got.
I really hope Nurk comes back after the All Star break and they don't be too overcautious with him. I think at some point you just
They
gotta
only
let
have
him play,
3 back
man.
to backs for the rest of the season after the All Star break.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
and I was looking at it. They line up in a way where like you could play Nurk, he'd rest 2 days, play Nurk, he'd rest 2 days, play Nurk, he'd rest 2 days with one of those days being a game, then play Nurk. You know what I mean? Like something like
Hmm.
that. Like you can kind of structure his rest to be like playing one out of every 3 days. The schedule isn't as packed after the All-Star break as it is before. So in terms of like not playing him on back to backs, that won't really be a big issue. But I just don't want it to be like April, where Nurk is completely 100% healthy, in shape, whatever, and they're still being like cautious for no reason. You know what I mean? Like it was a fluke play, right? And if he's 100%, he's 100%, right? Like, so
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. And they're talking about not playing Collins if he's 100%, but that's the thing with Collins too. If he ends up 110%, yeah. So if he plays, there's
110%.
no reason he should have him in his restriction, because he'd be 110% if he ends up playing. That's what Olshey said. So I don't know. I feel like they might be too overcautious, and it won't like accomplish anything. You know what I mean? It won't prevent anything other than like a lower chance that something fluky happens. But if something fluky happens. Like you can't really
Hmm.
control that. So
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do with them both as the season goes on. Because, like I said, having Nurkic in there, I mean, he's been fine. Like he's playing hard, he's hustling. I'm just imagining like what a
I
good
know.
center
Oh,
would
I
be in
know.
that
A guy can
situation.
actually score every game.
Yeah.
Jake Carey says you need to ramp that up fairly slowly. Yes, you do, but that's why I said if you're playing in April, why not? And also, if you're Collins and they're only going to play Collins 110%, why do they need to ramp him up if he's already 110% once he gets out onto the floor? You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand that.
Well, yeah. With Collins, it's a little different because you'd think conditionally he can run and do everything, even if he's
Yeah.
not playing basketball. So I know there's a difference between game shape and like
But I mean,
just
he's going to get into better
physical
game
shape. But
shape
like
the more he plays
at
in a
least he
game.
can run.
So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
Alfredo Camino for 3 says, according to Travis in the morning, we will have 7.8 million plus mid-level exception. Whiteside will get a bigger offer and leave us most likely. We have Whiteside's bird rights though, so it's a
It doesn't
7.2
matter.
million traded player exception, which you can't use to sign free agents. I don't know what the 7.8 million thing is. I assume he's talking about the trade exception, but we can't sign anybody with that anyway. But then the mid-level exception, like, we don't need that to sign Whiteside. It's not like Rodney Hood last year, where it's not like Rodney Hood, Seth Curry, and Enes Kanter last year. That was a very unique situation where we only paid Seth Curry like $2 million for 1
It's
year.
more like
we didn't have
Aminu.
him before, so we only had his non-bird rights. We didn't have his bird rights. It's like Aminu. You know, how Whiteside's like Aminu. Kanter, we signed mid-season for a minimum, so we didn't have his bird rights. And then Rodney Hood, just because he was on a 1-year contract when we traded for him, it waived his bird rights. As a part of that trade, we had, it had to be structured like that. If Hood got traded, he lost his bird rights. So all 3 of those guys didn't have bird rights. That's why we needed a mid-level exception to sign those guys. That's not the case with Whiteside, though. So,
yep. And it's important to note that last year we only had the tax mid-level exception because we were in the tax. This year, because of not trading for stuff, we have the full mid-level exception. So even if that was the case, we can still offer whoever. Like last year, we probably could have gotten creative and offered 2 people about $5 million and then maybe kept both Kanter and Hood. But I could also see both of those guys being slighted that we wouldn't give them the full mid-level versus the other one. So I think it helped with Hood at least saying, we love you, we want to keep you, but this is the most we can offer. I'm sorry, I wish it could be more, but here's what you have.
Whiteside, we would have been, if we used the full mid-level exception, we would have been right at the hard cap, right at it. We wouldn't have been able to sign Gasol. But we could have kept it at 14 and been right at the hard cap because we would have been about $6 million over before the, with Bazemore too, because we were 11 million over before we made the Ariza Bazemore trade, and Whiteside makes $5 million more than Harkless and Myers Leonard. So we could have possibly had the full mid level this offseason. We can resign Whiteside and still have the full mid level exception.
Yeah. Unless we signed him to a max contract. So I went and looked, and we paid Kanter. It was just under $500,000 last year, $497. And so I was trying to do the math. So it would be roughly $500,000 in salary, and then which equals $1 million in tax payments. So that open roster spot right now, we're not signing someone because it would cost us $1.5 million. So that's frustrating to me, but because this team is pretty good, and I just wish we had a night like tonight. It'd be nice not to have to rely on Gabriel and Swanigan and those kind of guys. I know we should be getting guys healthy back, but we still could use a backup point guard or someone who's just Marvin Williams would have been. I doubt he would have picked us over the Bucks, but a guy like that would have been a pretty good pickup. And then I'm sick of seeing people saying. So Jake says I don't think we're nearly as appealing to major buyout guys though, but just the fact that we're not even trying is frustrating to me. And the other thing about that is,
we could go get a Kyle O'Quinn or somebody to play backup center and be better than Swanigan,
Not a lot of teams have roster spots too, so they have to waive someone. And there's a lot of teams that are hard cap that are having trouble or right up against the tax line that can't really do that easily. But there aren't a lot of teams other than us that have a roster spot that are actually better than us. A lot of the teams with a roster spot open are worse than us. And like I said, I know they can waive people and do stuff, but I don't know. We don't even know all the guys who are going to be bought out yet. There's all the guys from China waiting for those contracts to be resolved so they can come sign here. We have guys like Evan Turner and Mo Harkless who we know the system and could come in and not take a lot of time to be good again in those situations. And now that they've been traded again from the team we traded them, we can reacquire them. So, like, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but like, I think having a guy like Evan Turner would be decent to have right now. Just like running the second unit more as a ball handler,
Bleh.
uh,
Bleh.
and a defender. Yeah,
Ew.
I'm just saying it's better
Ew.
than the options.
Nope.
Better than the options we currently have.
Ew. He had one good quarter in the playoffs. He literally didn't score for like 50 minutes straight. Then he has one good quarter in the playoffs where he hits a couple shots and made some free throws, and everybody's like, "Oh, Evan Turner really helped us make that run." I see a lot of people saying that. Evan Turner is horrible, man.
Yeah. Yeah, over who? Mario. Exactly my point. Would you rather Evan Turner or
They're both
Mario?
like the same type of player. They both are ass, dude.
I know, but who would you rather have?
I'd rather have
Who would
neither
you rather
of them.
have?
I'd rather have me playing point forward.
That wasn't the question.
Well,
That wasn't the question.
not just. There's not just two options realistically. So like, if we're settling for if we're settling for Evan Turner, we might as well just play Mario since he's already on the team. Like I wouldn't blame Jody for not wanting to spend $2 million on Evan Turner because I wouldn't spend $2 on Evan Turner. Like, I mean,
I get it.
He's just he's just trash, man.
Would you take Hart back?
I'd take Hart back. Mellow Stay says Mo's shooting 37% from 3 this year. Yeah, I mean, like, I'd take Hart. He knows the system. He can play small forward or power forward. We lost Scal, so we lost a little like big depth. So if Collins can't return, like, we get Nurkic.
The thing about Mo is, if he came back, it wouldn't be like he has to start like for some reason. Stotts thought last year he could just play the role he should play as like a hustle guy at the bench and stuff for a defender and go back to those situational things where we could play a lineup of Mo, Harkless, Trent, Whiteside and one other Dame or someone at the end of a game and completely shut down teams on defense.
If you like staggered lineups in a way where he played a little bit with Ariza, those guys are switchable. And the thing is, like, he can play, like, if Collins is going to take a while to get back, we get Nurkic back, he could be that backup 4 in place of Hazonia or Little or whoever we've been trotting out there. He can be that backup 4 behind Melo, and he can play some, like, 3, slide Trent down to play more 2. Like, I like the lineup versatility there. But then also, like, with Nurkic did a really good job of feeding Harkless. You know what I mean? Like, Harkless is a guy who does cut, and if you're talking about, like, both those guys playing off the bench, I think that'd be good for our bench. You get some movement. Harkless, like, he and Nurkic and Harkless have some chemistry. Like, that could be something good. And Harkless would just be another guy to put up against a Kawhi, PG, LeBron, whoever. So yeah, if Harkless gets bought out, I would love to go after him and get him. That's why I don't think the team should be like, oh, we're not going to spend any money. Like, bring back Hart, man. Then if we trade Labissiere to open up that roster spot just to bring in Harkless, like, I don't know. We save how much do we'd save some money off that, right?
I just said it was cost about $1.5 million to sign someone for the rest of the year if you're.
I think we saved like 2.5.
But that includes the taxes. So we would come out.
Yeah, we'd save $1 million, and we'd replace an injured Labissiere. Maybe he was out for a little bit longer with a player who knows our system, who could be just as effective. You know what I mean? Like I would be fine with that trade then. You know what I mean? I still would have liked to keep Labissiere, but save $1 million and swap Labissiere out for Harkless.
Yeah, and that's my main problem with the trade is we did it just to save that money. It's not to open up a roster spot or anything like that. So
any assets that hurt the team competing this year, but like because they didn't want to give up something that could hurt the team this year to duck the tax at all. But they won't spend $1 million to help this team this year. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't make any sense to me. Is the full mid-level exception enough for Davis Bertans? No. Davis Bertans will get like $15 million a year.
Probably not.
He is the type of power forward that the modern NBA loves.
I feel like that's going to be an overpay team.
Not not to base too much off of like real plus minus, but
It
like you
depends on
look
the
at his
team,
real
but, like,
plus
especially
minus,
for the
he's
Wizards.
actually insane, like in just like his floor spacing and his. I don't know. I haven't watched a ton of him, but like he's always just seems like the guy that knows the right play to make, doesn't force the issue, just a lethal shooter, gets hot. I'll pull up his stats right now, but just like
Clay's Wizards have his bird right, so they could sign him to a max contract if they really wanted to. See, that's what when you look at these projections for who has cap space, they're factoring in cap holds and who they're going to re-sign on their own free agents and qualifying offers and all these things that teams don't necessarily have that little money to spend this summer. There's ways where they can renounce free agents and get more space. But like the Wizards, it'll show them not having cap space. But if Bertans signed somewhere else, then they would probably have a little bit of cap space. I have to look at it exactly.
Cap hold, because that's like a $25 million cap hold. Are they?
Right.
Like Charlotte, they got a lot of big contract expiring players. They're going to have some cap space. I don't think they were on the list, were they? Like, I saw a list of 6 teams, and I don't know if Charlotte was on there. Like, because they got Biyombo, $17 million expiring. They got MKG, who is a $13 million expiring. Even if he gets bought out, they're not going to stretch that. That'll come off the books. Marvin Williams, $15 million expiring. Same situation with him getting bought out.
Well, I haven't seen Portland on those lists either, and technically, if they waived Whiteside and Ariza, they would have a little bit, but. See, that's the problem with like just looking at it.
Some teams
like that.
It doesn't make sense for us, but it will make sense for some other teams.
Oh.
So, but Bertans, he like almost 80%. I'd say probably 75% of his shots are threes. 75 to 80%. He's shooting 43% from 3 in 29 minutes per game. He's getting 15 points per game. He's making over 3.5 threes. In 29 minutes. Per 36 minutes, he's making 4.5 threes at 43%. He's getting 18.5 points per 36 minutes. And he's
if John Wall comes back next year and plays like okay, I know he's getting kind of up there, and he's also he has torn Achilles and all that, but he's a good guy to fit with those guards.
They could be
fully healthy.
They could be a decent team next year.
And then they got
That's why I was surprised they didn't go out with the price being as low as it was for Andre Drummond, just 2 worthless expirings and a second round pick. That's like the worst of a second round pick 3 years from now. Drummond was basically had for nothing from Cleveland. I'm surprised Washington didn't go out and get him because they're looking to keep their players.
Yeah, they couldn't trade Mahimi.
Exactly,
and someone
they could
else
trade Mahimi and someone else, and like their second round. I don't know if they have their second round pick this year, but like their second round pick, whatever.
But the one that Cleveland sent was like a 2024
exactly.
second
so
round
like Washington
pick, so
could have gotten Drummond for nothing,
second round pick.
and could have had like John Wall, Bradley Beal, Andre Drummond, Davis Bertans, Rui Hachimura, Thomas Bryant. Wagner's been good this year. Ish Smith off the bench. Like they could have had a playoff team next year. Like they could still be a playoff team, but like if they got Drummond, that would have been a playoff team. Maybe the 8th seed, but it would have been a 500 team at least, I think. So that's why I was surprised they didn't go out and do that. But because their whole thing has been like, we're not going to rebuild even though we suck. They keep their players for the most part. They trade Otto Porter for like expirings that they didn't even re-sign, and they didn't even get a pick back for Otto Porter. And that was last year. But, like, I don't know. Washington's just a weird situation, but I do think they end up keeping Bertans. I do think Bertans will get paid. He's definitely not an option for the mid-level exception. He'll make more than that.
I guess the only thing I can think of is they're $1 million under the tax line, so they probably didn't want to pay tax. But that seems like a dumb reason not to improve your team,
Yeah. At that point, you just try and save money elsewhere. You pay a team to take on, take on one of your contracts. Like,
Well, the problem is it's basically just Wall and Beal are
yeah, but
taking up all their cap. I
but
mean,
like
that's over half their cap right now.
you can try and get like send Ish Smith somewhere. You know what I mean? To a team with cap space
Yeah,
and give them. You
right.
just have
Yeah.
to incentivize them. So
John Wall is not going to play this year. They said he was going to sit out the year, but yeah, apparently he'll be back next year. We'll see how good he plays. So I got sick of all these people on social media and stuff saying, "Oh, the Blazers will have like 18 million in cap space now," and like all this stuff. So I went and figured out the exact numbers if you want them. So this is assuming Hood and Hazonia come back. I don't see any reason why. The only thing I'm hoping with Hazonia is that he gets like big offer from Europe and maybe decides to go back overseas. Other than that, I doubt he would get a better offer in. Not like he has to choose before free agency, so it's not like he can just field offers. But I'm hoping he's like, you know what, it's not worth 1.9 million next year to stay. But so since Hood's hurt, I'm assuming he's going to opt in too. So if you have both of those guys not stay on the team, it's almost $8 million difference. But so if we keep Ariza, we're at 112 million, a little over that. So 112, 476. So the salary cap's supposed to be about 115 million. So with Ariza, and this doesn't include Whiteside's cap hold. So you'd have to renounce Whiteside just to get like $3 million in cap space, basically. Yeah. So, but that also does not include our first round draft pick. So I estimated that to be about 3 million, and we'd only have 10 players on the roster. So we'd have two extra, or one extra roster spot. So you have, if you don't have 12 players on your roster, you have to have a minimum roster hold. So between the 3 million for the first round pick, it's going to be somewhere between like 2.5 and 3.5, depending on where our pick falls. But then I just estimated at 3 million and then 1 million for the cap hold. So we're already at 116, which is over the cap without renouncing Whiteside if we keep Ariza.
And if we
so
waive,
screwed, right?
If we waive Ariza, we'd have
cap space.
like 10 million.
So we have 11 million less because so we'd be at 101, 191. So we'd be just under 14 million under the cap. But that once again
you'd
doesn't
add another
include
you'd add another $1 million.
Our first
basically,
round draft
like
pick.
Based on the math you did before, you waive
And
Ariza, he's
$1.8
million guaranteed, and you'd add another like $1 million cap hold, so that'd still be like be 2.8, right? So it's not like you're subtracting Ariza's $12.8 million salary from us being at the cap line. You're subtracting like 10 million. Yeah.
Yep, and that's what people don't realize. So we'd really be at 106 million, right? And the cap's at 115 million, and that's if we did not re-sign Whiteside. So then we'd have 9 million in cap space. So it makes
Ariza,
no
right?
sense
and
to
that
go
$9
for cap
million,
space.
$9.5 million, that's still less than the mid-level exception.
Yeah, so you might as well keep both and then sign someone to the mid-level exception, and you're still under the tax theoretically, as long as you don't sign Whiteside to way too much money.
Somehow got lucky and like Hood opted out and Hazonia opted out, then we'd have about 16 million. But at that point, like that's not worth it, because you're losing Hood.
You have to replace Ariza, Whiteside, Hood, all three of those guys with one player for $16 million, basically, or several guys making like $5 million, which would be even harder to
16
replace.
million, whatever. Getting rid of all those guys, or you could keep all of them. Hood opts in, whatever, or even if he opts out, you'd have his non-bird rights, but like he's made $6 million last year, or early bird rights, so you could resign him without having to use mid-level exception. Basically, you could either get rid of Hood, Ariza, and Whiteside, and have like 15 to
What's
16 million, 14 to 16 million, depending on Hazonia, or you could keep all those guys and have 10 million with the mid-level exception. So you're going to take the mid-level exception. So it makes no sense to chase cap space.
Yeah.
Anybody who thinks cap space is a viable option or the right option or something that the Blazers are going to do has not crunched the numbers enough and is not paying attention to our situation enough, or they don't truly know the CBA, so they're not factoring in things like roster holds and stuff like that. So,
and that just drives me crazy. Two things. One is the people who think that's why we didn't make a trade is to have cap space. Like I just proved that we don't have cap space. And then second of all, if we let Ariza go this summer, I am going to lose it because the math just does not make sense to let him go for that price. There's a team with
an expiring who would go out and get him and give up a couple like smaller assets for him. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I mean, but that could factor into like the team didn't want to like sacrifice this year or whatever. But like, it just doesn't make sense to chase cap space.
Yeah. Well, if we weren't going to keep him past, or we're only keeping him for this year, it would have made no sense not to trade him and get under the luxury tax, because we could have traded him for someone making $8 million and we would have been under the tax right now, and then it would be fine. But like, so if we let him go, considering it doesn't do anything to change how much we can offer our max offer to a free agent, that is going to really make me mad. Shout out to my mom in the chat. Can I read her chat message real quick? Hi, Mom. She says, Whiteside asked for the crowd to make noise after his block shot. Jody Allen gave Dame all-star ball at the beginning of the game. Trevor went to the crowd. I think that's when he dove for a loose ball. His expression was hilarious. Yeah, it was a fun game tonight. The players are really into it, and the crowd seemed good tonight.
Yeah, I mean the crowd's been good in a
Hi, Mom.
in a in a season that's kind of been a bit of a struggle. I just got a trade suggestion. I don't know if this person's watching, but they said Tori was trying to make a trade to get Bogdanovich, and somehow I got a 3-team trade with the Knicks. What you think? But it was like a picture of the trade machine and Bogdanovich being traded here. But Bogdanovich is a free agent this offseason, and the trade deadline just passed, so it's not possible. Like,
was it on
trade machine,
trade NBA, or was it the ESPN one?
Yeah, so like he can't be traded. He can't be traded. So I mean, like, he can't be traded unless it's an assigned trade on a new contract. So I don't know if that person was in here, but
yeah.
They also included
did that before.
They also included Whiteside.
Like,
so I don't know. So I mean, like, we can't trade Whiteside unless it's an assigned trade as well, and yeah.
Alex Wolf said, "Do you guys think Hazonia will pick up his player option?" Yeah, we just talked about that. He'll definitely pick that up unless I'm praying someone in Europe offers him a big contract to go back overseas. But yeah, I'm not sure if he'll.
Yeah,
he's either gonna opt in or
so
go
some
to
more
Europe,
some more on
afraid.
this Myers Leonard Twitter thing, right? So Pinwheel Empire. Well, it's not like based off Chad doing. It's based off. So Pinwheel Empire tweeted out a tribute video that Myers Leonard like thanked them for, or whatever. Pinwheel Empire like basically showing their appreciation for him. And Rose City Hoops, which how many followers do they have? They got almost 600 followers. They're a Portland Trail Blazers social network. Viewing parties and live streams coming soon. That's what their Twitter bio says. But they said, not a fan of Pinwheel Empire posting a tribute video thanking Myers Leonard after absolutely bashing him for 7 years. Just comes off extremely fake and all for show. Just my thoughts. Good win tonight. Yeah, I told you guys, Pinwheel Empire, toxic, fake, like whatever. And here's pictures of Pinwheel Empire tweets. They said they had a picture of like Myers Leonard. And Pinwheel Empire would say, "My name is Myers Leonard, and I'm a certified dud and a bona fide scrub, and you can't teach that." And then another tweet, "Can we all just agree that Myers Leonard is most likely two small children in a basketball uniform?" Then next quote, Do you know how many consecutive games we've? This is
all
that
about
Pinwheel
Rose City
Empire
Hoops.
said. Rose City Hoops got screenshots of Pinwheel Empire saying this
Yeah.
about Myers Leonard in the past. Just basically, Pinwheel Empire is always trashed. Pinwheel Empire has always trashed him, and then he leaves, and now, like, for clout, they're like, tribute video and all this stuff. Like, it's just annoying, bro. Pinwheel Empire's so fake like that. Like, God, I was always kind of like, and I got frustrated at Myers, but I was always like the personal bashing of him and like the kind of extra stuff. I was always like defensive for Myers for that, because people were like ruthless to him, you know what I mean? And like I criticize people for their play. It's never like mocking them like that. I'll make a joke here and there, but if Harzonia leaves, I'm not gonna make a tribute video to him and like tweet it at him and thank you so much and blah, be like that. Like, I don't know, man. It's just they're just fake. It's just frustrating, man. It's just they're such. I hate Pinwheel Empire.
A lot of people are blocked by Myers anyway.
So if you guys follow Pinwheel Empire, you guys shouldn't be following that page. That's my suggestion. You guys can follow who you want, but they're toxic. They're fake. I can't stand them, bro. I don't hate a Twitter account more than them. Like, I'm okay with Chad doing. Okay, I hate Pinwheel Empire.
Yeah, tell him first, P. He says whatever. Tori,
I didn't make a tribute video though, did I? And I'm a YouTuber, right? Yeah, I said no. I know, but that's like, just keep that same energy. You know what I mean? It just doesn't. Yeah, no, I get the joke. I'm just saying, like, I'm just kind of going on with my point here. Like, I kept that same energy. You know what I mean? Like, okay, thank you for what you did. That's I didn't make a tribute video. I didn't reach out to him. I didn't try and be nice to him to gain clout with a video or anything like that. I don't know. And it's like, if it was just like one thing, that's fine. But like for Pinwheel Empire, that's just another thing in the line of them being toxic and just fake. And I just hate I hate Pinwheel Empire, guys. I have a lot of reasons for it, man. And like, I don't disagree that like Myers did not live up to the hype when he was drafted and wasn't as good as he could have been. It's not like based off Myers' play. It's like, don't be bashing him, like personally making fun of him, editing pictures of him and like posting them like in a mocking way. You should look at that tweet, Eric. You guys should look at that tweet. I just retweeted it so you can know what I'm talking about. But like, actually, I'll just bring up a screen capture.
I saw it,
Don't be doing this and then making a tribute video. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just fake. I don't know. Anyway. And Productions, why'd you lose your Twitter account?
Well, based on the way he talks on here, I could see him getting suspended for saying stuff.
Because he's feisty. A big time signing for Portland is Rodney Hood or a 35-year-old Melo. What do you mean? What do you mean, Max? I think Rodney Hood opts into because he's a player option for $6 million. And I don't think he was.
We got some Laker fans in here. I think he's saying that like our best free agent signing is Rodney Hood or a 35-year-old Melo.
Yeah, I knew him in high school.
Are you sure? Oh, okay.
But no, he's a Blazer fan. Rodney Hood has we do have a lot. I don't know how we ended up with a lot of Laker fans in here, but like People's Mix and Lakers Forever, that's obvious. That's obvious. But no, Rodney Hood has a $6 million player option next year, and given his injury, I think he just accepts that and stays. So I don't know if you're like choose one. I don't know if that's what you're asking or what.
And then after that, we'd have his full bird rights too. So
after, like next offseason, yeah,
we could re-sign him as long as he's
Knicks greater than Trailblazers, greater than Lakers.
So what, Laker fans?
I think you got. I think he got his.
Are you a
Knicks
fan? I'm sorry if you are.
He Knicks him 4. Yeah, we got. We got trolls, man. We got a bunch of random stuff in chat right now. Embiid sucks. We're talking about
Yeah.
the Knicks and the.
Was someone trying to say that Ja Morant is better than Dame? Was someone trying to say that?
Lakers Forever says this channel is awesome. Love that chat. Told my friends about you guys. Dope, man. Yeah, our chat's hella fun. And we know basketball, so we'll do some stuff in the future that'll be like, more general NBA stuff and that type of stuff. But like draft live stream, free agency live stream will be coming this off season, stuff like that. But I like that we can entertain fans of different teams, though. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's a testament for us. That means we're doing something right, Yeah. We can get fans in here that don't just want to troll us and want to actually, like, be a part of this. So that's cool. Like I said, anybody respectful is invited.
The Laker fans are trying to say that the Blazers are trash because Dame couldn't take us to the playoffs, but Morant could.
Yeah, and we've played a really
guys.
hard schedule, and our schedule is one of the easiest, and Memphis is one of the hardest throughout the rest of the season, and we've been hurt, and it's not just based off one player. Like,
and we play them
Laker fans that say that are stupid. The Laker fans have too many fans like that. There are some smart fans out there, but they have too many fans that are just like either trolls or just not basketball smart, like nothing. They don't pay enough attention to what's outside their bubble there in Los Angeles with the Lakers and like the Clippers a little bit, I guess. I don't know. But like, let me look at remaining strength of schedule. Memphis has the hardest remaining strength of schedule for the rest of the season by far. So that means they've had the easiest, common sense would say they have had the easiest schedule in the league by far. Okay, I'll bring it up actually. Here we go.
Cyberpunk. What do you mean bandwagoners are the stupid ones? Are you trying to say that Laker bandwagon fans are the stupid ones?
Okay, here we go. I gotta move. Let's see. I gotta just widen this a little bit. All right, look at this. Number one, Memphis has a remaining strength of schedule of 55.4%. They have to play the Lakers twice, the Bucks, the Raptors twice, the Celtics. That's like their hardest games just based off record. Like, by extension, or by, I don't know what I'm trying to say here. Basically, they've probably had the easiest strength of schedule, or at least one of the easiest strengths of schedules. And their record isn't influenced by that. Meanwhile, hardest remaining schedule. Portland has the 25th hardest remaining schedule. 46.6% winning percentage compared to 55.4% winning percentage remaining from Memphis. And Portland is 2 games behind Memphis? And Portland's going to get healthy? And Portland's going to play Memphis 3 times? Yeah, I don't see any way Memphis beats out Portland for a playoff spot. I think the chances of that happening are very, very, very slim. Very slim. I highly doubt that happens.
AM Productions, you have that wrong. They have the toughest schedule, not the easiest
schedule.
And then, like you pointed out earlier in the year, that our game against the Clippers is the last game of the season, so who knows if they'll even need to win that game or not. It's possible that they might not even need that, and they're a team that definitely load manages, so that helps. And we made it through that tough stretch, and we more than held our ground.
We're starting the easy stretch, guys. We're actually here. I forgot about that. Yeah. So our next, let's just read off our schedule, right? So we got 2 games before the All-Star break. I'll just read it off. I've read this off before, but some of you guys might not have heard it. Some of you guys might forget how easy our schedule is. I wish that would.
Oh, where was OKC on that list?
OKC has the 14th hardest remaining schedule. So they're,
so right in the middle, yeah. Mm-hmm. We've already played them long.
Let's see here. Denver has the 4th hardest remaining. Utah has the 11th hardest. The Rockets have the 24th hardest, so I mean they've been struggling, but easy. Atlanta has the easiest remaining schedule. Orlando, New Orleans has an easy remaining schedule. So does Miami. So what they've done is impressive against a tough schedule. Clippers, Lakers have easy remaining schedules.
What about Pels? While
28th
you're there, what
hardest
about
remaining schedule.
Pelicans? Jake
I'm
says they
just
have the
going off of
easiest.
tankathon, so like it might
Yeah,
be different.
so they might be a
based
problem. Yeah, yeah.
Let's see here. Let's look at. I didn't know they did RPI for NBA, but I think you can view.
Denthor
What were you saying?
Denthor just put a wonderful thought in my head. That's certainly a nice dream. He's imagining Dame blowing up the Lakers the same way he did the Thunder last year, and then AD getting mad and leaving, and then
Yeah.
destroying the franchise. That would certainly be. I mean, that was great to see that with OKC last year. I can't imagine seeing that with the
Yeah.
Lakers.
Here, let me bring up
but
the
yeah.
screen capture for this.
Lakers forever. It's just a dream.
Yep, it's just a dream. Let it look. We're gonna dream about it. Let's see here. Okay. So this is RPI strength of schedule. Well, this is just strength of schedule, just based off of winning percentage. Portland has had tied for the second hardest schedule in the league so far this year. Memphis has had the 21st hardest schedule. RPI is based off like relative percentage index. The basic formula is 25% team winning percentage, 50% opponent's average winning percentage, and 25% the opponents of the opponent's average winning percentage. So it's kind of weird, but that's basically how they decide RPI. We're ranked 14th. We're ranked ahead of Memphis. We are. Yeah, I don't know. Like RPI, some people hate it. Some people think it's solid. It makes more sense for the NBA than it ever did for college basketball, to be honest, because you play everybody in the NBA. Or college basketball, you have like a 350 teams. So that's why they switched off of it.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're ahead of Memphis. We're gonna get healthy. We're playing a lot better brand of basketball than we were early in the season. We dropped like 6 games that I don't think we'd drop at any point this year. And just looking at our schedule, man. Let me bring up the schedule. Let's go to Portland. I'll bring it up on the screen for you guys.
And Chiefin keeps asking if we have a chance to get the 7th seed. I think that's probably sailed. I mean, it's not.
OKC would have to struggle.
Like physically impossible, but there's only 28
We'd have to win like
games left, and we're
45
7.
games. And OKC would have to go like 500.
The Mavericks are OKC and the Mavericks are actually tied now. So I mean, if one of those teams had a free fall, we play
the Mavericks again too, so like that can do.
We're 7.5 games with 28 left for the Blazers. That's pretty tough to
But like
do.
with our schedule, I mean, like who knows?
You're talking yeah, we'd have to go like 20-8 at minimum, and one of those teams would have to go like 12 and whatever that equals, 12 and 20 or something. Like, all right, that's too many games.
All right. Yeah.
But like 10 and 20 or something.
I'm just watching my stream to make sure that looks good. Okay. So
I don't see a lot of those teams just completely.
But here's
falling.
our schedule, right? Starting here, this is that date, February 11th. I've been talking about, right? So starting on the 11th, at New Orleans lottery team, February 12th. At Memphis, like I guess they're a playoff team, but like they're Memphis, it's a team we should beat. Then coming out of the All-Star break, versus New Orleans, versus Detroit, who just traded Andre Drummond, versus Boston, at Indiana. So these are like 2 hard games, but other than that, you got New Orleans twice, Memphis, and Detroit. Then at Atlanta, one of the worst teams in the league. At Orlando, very banged up and horrible. Versus Washington, one of the worst teams in the league. At Phoenix, versus Sacramento, versus Phoenix, versus Memphis, right? Versus Houston, who I think will match up with wonderfully. We've blown them out twice in a row, and then we'll have 2 bigs to just punish their lack of size here, assuming they don't get anybody off the buyout market. Then versus Minnesota, who's been trashed. They made a lot of movement at the trade deadline, but this is a game we should win. Versus Dallas, at Minnesota, at Charlotte, at Detroit. So through this whole stretch right here, New Orleans, Memphis, New Orleans, Detroit. Two playoff teams, Atlanta, Orlando, Washington, Phoenix, Sacramento, Phoenix, Memphis. Then you got playoff team Houston, then Minnesota, then playoff team Dallas, Minnesota, Charlotte, Detroit. So that's 4 playoff teams out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out of 19 games, 15 are against non-playoff teams, in my opinion. I'm not counting Memphis as a playoff team. 15 of the 19 are against non-playoff teams. Because I don't think Orlando will be a playoff team either. Okay, so you got 4 playoff teams in there. And there's games that we can definitely win. You got home versus Boston, which has been a good team, but on the road versus Indiana, who we have matched up well with in the past and beaten in the past. At home versus Houston, who I think we match up greatly with, and we've blown them out twice in a row, and now we'd have probably Nurkic and Whiteside and maybe even Collins at that point, I'm not sure, but we'd have the size to just punish them. And then versus Dallas. You know what I mean? So it's teams we should be very competitive against, I think. So this 19-game stretch, I don't know, like, I could see us going like 16-3. You know what I mean? We could also struggle randomly and regress. But like we could go 15-4. Let's say we go 15-4. We would be 40-33. At that point, maybe you're talking about like getting close to OKC or Dallas. But like we need to run off wins. But the thing is, the schedule sets up beautifully. Then we do have a hard stretch here: Boston, Philadelphia, Brooklyn, Utah at home. That'll be a fun game. But like,
hopefully, if we're healthier by that point and have a bunch of momentum, that some of those games are easier. But yeah, it's those 2 out of the next 3 games are against New Orleans. Those ones are huge, considering they have an easy schedule, and they're going to be probably. I'm probably more scared of them fighting us to the end instead of Memphis possibly falling off towards the end
New
of the
Orleans
year.
is more scary than Memphis,
especially after.
And we have these two games. 2 of the 3 next game. 2 of the 3 next games. That's a weird way to say it, but like two of our 3 next matchups are against New Orleans, and the other one's against Memphis. So these next 3 games are huge.
I mean, win all 3, and we're likely in the driver's seat, unless we
Nurkic
really
could come
mess
back
up.
And give us an energy.
Pretty much the rest of the year, we probably control our own destiny.
Have an energy boost for us, possibly. But yeah, I mean, like, so you got these 4 hard games, but we can be competitive.
Mellow Stay says, "What about the Spurs?"
Didn't they just?
I'm not really worried about the Spurs. They don't scare me at all.
Or something, like. So
something
then,
like that,
okay, so this 19-game stretch with 15 against lottery teams, or what I think will be lottery teams. Then you have this 4-game hard stretch right here, but like we could be competitive in all these games, win all these games, especially if we're playing well, clicking at the right time. You know, Nurkic will be back for a little bit. Collins might be back by then. We might actually have some health. And then after that, 2 games we should probably win versus Memphis, versus Cleveland. Tough game at home versus Denver, but who knows like where they are playoff positioning wise by then, you know. Then on the road, after 3 days off, on the road at Golden State, that's a game we should win. Then last game of the season at home versus the Clippers, which would normally be a tough game, but I'm assuming they rest players for this game. So like winning percentage wise, strength of schedule, you know, this makes our strength of schedule look harder, but this game I think could end up being an easy game. You know, we might rest players as well. But like LA, I can all but guarantee, you know, they rest guys all season. I can all but guarantee they'll be resting guys, so you might have a seed locked in. You know what I mean? And it could be something where if we win this game, we get the 7th seed and we push the Clippers down to the 3 seed, and we get Denver up to the 2 seed and end up playing them as the 7. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Like I do think there is a chance at the 7th seed. I don't think we'll get it. But like we have a chance to really rattle off just a ton of wins. You know what I mean? I think we'll go on a huge run. And I think like 45, 46 wins is not out of the question. We would have to win 45 games, we'd have to go 20-8. Over this schedule, I don't think that's unreasonable at all. Over that schedule. I think that's like about to be like
Yeah.
kind of like 19 wins is about what I expect. I expect us to win 44 games and lose 38. But if we could pick off a couple more of those games, win
I'm just gonna
22 like that, 22-6 with this schedule, it wouldn't shock me. And winning 46 games, that could get you the 7th seed.
even with the injuries, I don't think there's really much of an excuse to not get this done and get at least the 8 seed. So whether you want to make the playoffs or you're on Team Tank or whatever, I think it's a little too late to really tank that well to get up to where it really matters. So we might as well go for the playoffs, and I'm going to be
why I was
disappointed if
so
they're not
mad
the team
after
that finishes it.
this game. We gave up that 3 to Cork Maws, which we definitely shouldn't have given up, and we blew this game against Philadelphia. Next game, we lost to Golden State. They didn't even have D'Angelo Russell or Draymond Green. Obviously, didn't have Curry or Klay Thompson. And they didn't have Looney. And we lost this game. So that's 2 games right there. This game, Dame dropped 60 and we lost. Shouldn't have lost that game. Then we lost this game to Sacramento. They didn't have Fox or Bagley or somebody else, I don't think. It's another game we dropped we shouldn't have lost. Then New Orleans, I think this was Melo's debut, but this was like New Orleans won this game and then lost like their next 14. They were injured this game. That's another game we shouldn't have lost. At Cleveland, they didn't have Kevin Love. We didn't have Whiteside, but they didn't have Kevin Love, and it's Cleveland, and we lost. So, were you going to say something?
I was to say that Toronto game's the game where Little got his first start, and then he subbed out in the third quarter, and Siakam had done like nothing the whole game, and then he went like ballistic in the fourth quarter, and we lost that game, and we never saw Little
that's
again.
More like that's a good team though, so I'm not even counting that. It's like again we should have won.
Yeah, no,
but like,
I know. I'm not
so far, you got.
Either.
Philadelphia, we choked last second possession. Golden State didn't have all 5 of their starters in his Golden State. Sacramento didn't have Fox or Bagley. New Orleans, right before they lost 14 games in a row. Cleveland without Love. New Orleans again, that was at home. Phoenix at home, like, they're a good enough team where, like, you drop these games every once in a while, so I'm not even going to count that one. But then New York on the road. Minnesota.
Jake Carey, don't ruin my narrative.
Minnesota on the road. This was, like, the one game they won. Like, this was an inexcusable loss as any. So how many games has that been? You know what I mean? Like, so that's like what, 8-9 games? Let's say we win 6 of them. Like, these are games we definitely should have won. If we won 6 of them, we would be 31 and 23. In this games we should have won with our injuries. And then if we end up, going 19-9 over this easy stretch, we win 50 games. We're possibly the 4th seed. We're, 4th, 5th, 6th. We're somewhere in there, and we're getting a first-round matchup that we can win. That's why these losses were so frustrating. These injuries did not excuse that. Injuries did not excuse blowing that last possession. Injuries did not excuse losing to this team when they had injuries themselves. Injuries did not excuse New Orleans 1 win in 15 games, which was against us. New Orleans didn't excuse losing to Cleveland when they had their only good player injured, basically, which was Kevin Love. Like, injuries don't excuse that. So getting the 8th seed is not due to injuries, because we lost a lot of games we should have won. It just, now look at this. Now we're making a run. We've won 7 of our last 10. And one we lost, we got screwed on. And this one was close. Lillard dropped 47. Dallas just shot the lights out. It was partly bad defense, whatever. Like, but like, these games will happen. That's why you give yourself the leeway by not blowing so many games we should have won early in the season.
Clay's, it's been since the Toronto game. He wants you to count how many games Lillard's been the leading scorer in a row.
Holy hell. Even when he had 20. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 16 games in a row. And if you go back to here,
You know what's weird?
24 of the last 27 games. The last time CJ McCollum was the leading scorer for a game was December 16th. Let's see if Lillard played that game. Okay, he played that game. He had 27. Yes, the last time CJ was the leading scorer was almost 2 months ago, which is ridiculous. Where's White? I thought Whiteside would be a leading scorer in here.
He was once like
because I know he had a
30-point
game.
But 33.
I mean, when you got Dame, geez, look at these numbers.
Yeah.
Anthony Tolliver. that tripped me out for a second. This Anthony Tolliver. It was Carmelo and Tolliver.
That Charlotte game, Tolliver was the MVP.
You wanna talk about the leading? Let's look at the assists. Only twice in the last. This was game 54 minus 17. In the last 37 games, Lillard has been
some of those games
highest in assists in 35 of the last 37 games.
Well, because just thinking the Milwaukee and New Orleans games, Lillard didn't play those 2 games.
Really? Because this Milwaukee game, we were competitive. I remember we were competitive.
Yeah, Lillard didn't play in that one.
Oh, yeah, he didn't. You had Gary Trent dropping 13 on 5 for 17. I didn't realize he was... It's interesting going back to games like this. That's when we still had Hood going 5 for 5. I remember the conversation around this time of the year was Rodney Hood's playing 30 minutes, super efficient, but he's only shooting like 5 shots. He's having games where he's only shooting 5 shots. Meanwhile, you have Carmelo going like 6 for 15. Yeah, you know.
Without Dame playing.
Oh, that was the game. That was the game Scal popped off.
CJ got his 20.
2 for 4. That was the game he was like hitting those mid-range shots. 28 minutes, 22 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists, 5 blocks.
I agree, Jake Carey. I can't stand looking at box scores on ESPN either.
But yeah, it's kind of wonky. But yeah, no, I mean, like, we've lost so many games that we should have won, and I'm only like, there's 9 games that I can point to. I think I pointed to 9 games there that we definitely should have won, and I'm saying if we won 6 of those 9, that we definitely like at Minnesota, at New York, like obvious games we should have. There's no excuses whatsoever to lose that game, even with injuries. If we won 6 of those 9, we'd be sitting pretty right now. We'd be 31-23. I'm gonna look at the standings. I'll pull this back up for you guys. Let's look at the standings. If we were 31-23, we'd be a game and a half back of 6th place. We'd be 2.5 back of 5th place. We'd be 3 back of 4th place. We'd be 6.5 back of 2nd with an easy schedule coming up, and Denver has a really hard schedule coming up. You know what I mean? Not that we get up to 2nd, but like we'd have literally anything would be in play. No, but we're here. And we're 7.5 back of Dallas because we choked so many games we should have won. That's why it was so frustrating this season. That's why it was so triggering, so frustrating to hear people just say injuries after we lose to teams like the New York Knicks and lose against New Orleans right before they lost 14 in a row and lose against the Cavs without Love. Like, that's why it was so frustrating for me. That's why me and Chad Dewing are going back and forth on Twitter. So anyway, rant over.
Myers got the last laugh tonight.
Message request. Also, if you guys are interested in helping me with something, this is just a little side note. If you guys are interested in helping me with something, like 3 to 5 minutes a day is all the help I need, and you could get like $1 or $2 a day for like 3 minutes. I don't know. It's like barely anything, but I need some help with something. Just send me an email, blazers.press@gmail.com, or DM me on Twitter right now. I just need some people for something. Yeah. So if you want to help me make a little pocket change too, I guess. Just let me know. Just email me or DM me. Anyway, what do you want to talk about? What we want to take questions from chat or what?
Jake says he watched all of Ant's made field goals last night. Kid has so much potential. Easy to lose sight of that during this rough stretch. Yeah, I completely agree. I've said this all year. You just got to let him take his lumps, and hopefully we're better for it, and he's better for it, either towards the end of this season or next year. I think it will end up paying dividends that we at least give him a shot. Then we know sooner rather than later, too, if he's not going to pan out. But the guy just has too much skill to not give a legitimate chance to get minutes in this league. So hopefully he figures it out, and hopefully it's beneficial to him that we gave him an opportunity to learn on the job instead of just watching. But yeah, it's also kind of frustrating because if he struggles, it kind of hurts our chances right now. So I do like that he's Stotts is. I got to give him some credit for that. Obviously, it doesn't matter when Simons is hurt, but last few games prior, he had started to ride Trent a little more than he was given minutes to Simons. Having Simons have a little shorter leash in the second half, especially of games, and I think that's fine to do. I just wouldn't completely bench him or not give him a chance at all.
Taking a Snapchat. Say what's up to the Snapchat. Say what's up to the Snapchat, chat.
What's up?
It's a video.
Is it a
girl? Just a video. Say what's up to the Snapchat. We're waiting.
And then Clays wants to know how we match up. Like we just talking about that. I don't know. With Memphis and
damn, on this video it's just gonna sound like I'm talking to myself because they can't hear you. But yeah, I completely asked what you asked.
Jake Curry's boy Vassell from
I need to watch him.
Florida State's is up to 12
Tankathon.
On Tankathon.
Interesting. I miss Draft Express. Those were always the people I went to for mock drafts.
You what about them?
Oh, I said I miss Draft Express.
I
mean, they do the ESPN now, but it's like not the same. I guess I don't know. They don't update their mock draft as much. They do a lot less now that they're at ESPN, and they get paid a lot more. I miss Draft Express so much, man.
Yeah, I feel like they're more clickbaity now too. Like you have to pay for it, and they have let like the getting clicks influence where they put people and stuff like that. So they used to be like by far the most dependable draft positioning and mock drafts and stuff like that. But lately I don't know if I trust them anymore. Still like their analysis
videos. They do it for like the top players that everybody knows about. And it's like, that's not the ones I want. I want the one on like the guy who's projected like 42nd in the draft. You know what I mean? Like, it sucks, man.
So I agree with Jake Carey. Says the Mike Schmitz videos where he's like one-on-one. He's had this series where
I've seen those.
He'll sit down with like a prospect and they watch film with them. And they're really cool. But I feel like he's like too positive about every player he's like watching that time. I understand it when you're talking film and stuff like that. But I feel like every prospect he talks about is like great. You know, it's kind of like he's becoming Fran Fraschilla-esque, where like every international player is going to be the next Dirk Nowitzki or something. So like not that that's bad. Like I would understand you're trying to get access to these people, so you can't really be too critical of them. But like that was part of the reason why Draft Express was so good because their strength and weakness breakdowns were like as good as you could find on players without like watching the games yourselves and doing all the research you could that way. So yeah, it's become a little too weak or strengths only and not enough weakness stuff, I think. But overall, they do still have some good content. It's just behind a
Yeah,
paywall, so
yeah,
it's frustrating.
definitely. Because dude, they would drop a draft video on like 70, 80 different prospects, like with film,
Oh
all
no, it's
that.
crazy.
And but like they didn't talk. They had like the subtitles, which I actually like more than them talking. I missed those videos, man.
Yeah,
Those were a good part of my basketball fanhood life.
yeah. I'm thinking about if it's worth paying for it as we get closer to the draft, just to do a little more
Shoot, man, I would
research.
love to put out those types of videos in the future as part of something.
Yeah,
Shoot, man, I'd love to have like a scouting
yeah.
Uprise channel or something. That'd be dope. Put but like actually have it pop off where I could like pay Jake Carey to put together those videos. Because I know Jake actually does his homework more than I do,
Yeah.
more than anybody I really know, to be honest. Shoot.
Yeah, see, my problem is I don't know how to put together the video. Like, I could talk while I'm watching
Mm,
a game and like plays and
that's
break
why
them
you're gonna
down, but
be
like I don't
my.
know how
That's
to
why I'm your mentor.
make that
I
into
got you.
video.
I got you. Because I
Yeah,
know how to, and I know how to like create those slides that they do now. Like it takes some work, but I like could do like the animations that they did. Um, yeah, I don't know. Maybe in the future. Maybe like year or two from now.
and Clay's I didn't really push him on the answer because we did already answer it
What was
earlier.
it again?
But yeah,
Something about Memphis.
he was asking how we match up with Memphis and New Orleans,
Oh yeah,
like
I went into
positionally
like
down the
strength of
stretch.
schedule and all that. Yeah, come on, Clay's. Uh,
I wonder if he
Jake.
meant positionally,
Yeah,
like what, like John Morant versus
Jake Carey
Damian
says
Lillard,
cutting up a
and
game plus
oh,
voiceover
all
is
this.
so much work. It'd be cool though. I'd do it with subtitles, which might be more work, might or maybe the same amount of work. But no, like it'd be cool to like be be big enough to the point where like I could have like multiple people like being paid to put out like videos like that know what they're talking about. You know what I mean? Where I could just make somebody the head of that channel and then have them, they can make videos and also find people out there that know what they're talking about, know how to do that type of stuff. I don't know. Like I got plans for the future, guys. So we're gonna do stuff in the future. Just gotta get there. Got like this summer I got some stuff planned that I haven't released to you guys yet. And right now, like personally, I just gotta get on my feet. That's what I was plugging earlier with, like asking you guys for just a little bit of help from something where you get paid, $1 or $2 for 3 to 5 minutes. That's a pretty good rate. That's like $20 to $25 an hour, and just be like 3 to 5 minutes every day. It's something that I can't do on my own. Like I actually need help with it from multiple people. So if you DM me or email me, I'll explain it. But yeah, no, I mean, this is a start. Trust me. Dame Dollar, day one of asking Tori to do a firing Terry Stotts Portland Trailblazers rebuild. That doesn't. The coach doesn't really affect things in
It's a waste of time.
2K.
Yeah,
Um,
2K. Yeah,
but yeah, I'll do 2K videos in the off season. Maybe I'll do one during the trade deadline. I don't know. Or not the trade deadline, the All Star break. But I was gonna take like 4 or 5 days off during the All Star break and just recharge, because YouTubers do that all the time. The thing is, like, people who do like video games, that type of stuff, they just like record content for 5 days on one day and like get it edited or have an editor or something, and then they take a 5 day break. We don't. I don't have that. So
Clay says no need for research. Obi
Yep.
Toppin or Avdija, and
If not available, Isaac Okoro for defense or Jay McDaniel for raw prospect. Yeah, I mean, like those are the forward targets, and they're all kind of unique. Like they're all kind of like different players from one another. That's what I like about those guys. I think Obi Toppin is unavailable. Like he would go too high, and I think McDaniels would go too high. But like if we had our choice, we could go for different types of forwards. I don't know. It's not like some years you have like forwards that like have the same type of play style, 3-and-D guys or whatever, like athletes, or like Avdija is kind of like a little bit of a playmaker, kind of like finesse, just a European type player. Obi Toppin is like more of a 4 than a 3, but like big, athletic, with some skill, but like just insane big athlete. Isaac Okaro's that defender, and Jade McDaniels like that raw offensive scorer type of prospect. Obi's defense is concerning. I don't think he fits the guys we typically go for. I think Obi's defense is fine. I've watched Obi. I haven't watched a ton of college basketball this year. I need to catch up. But Obi, I think, is fine. I think he's just quick enough laterally to be able to stick at the 4. You know what I mean? To be able to stay in front of most guys at the 4, and then you're talking about like his weak side shot blocking and his athleticism, his rim protection, that type of thing, his strength. Like he's not going to get bullied down there. I think he would be a good defensive 4. Probably not a good defensive 5, but maybe you could play some small ball 5. He's strong and can get off the ground, protect the rim maybe a little bit. So maybe fit there at the 3. I think he's a little too stiff to defend the 3. But he's so clunky changing direction to me, stiff. But that's the thing. You don't have many power forwards that are out there like stringing together a bunch of moves. Even if they're perimeter guys, like you look at like a Kyle Kuzma, that dude's not gonna like shake guys. They're mostly just like straight line drive guys, catch the ball, shoot, catch the ball, make a decision, go. That I don't know. I kind of disagree. Is my voice out of sync with the video? Shouldn't be. I don't know. You like Obi, so I'll let you talk on it.
Yeah, I think his defense is fine. I can see why Jake says that, but I don't think it's like a glaring weakness. I just think it's like at worst, I think he's going to be an average defender. Not like great, but not like
that's it.
Where you're like, oh my god, his defense is so bad I can't play him.
Also, I think that's something he can prove. I think that might be something with like his stance. You know what I mean? Like, because he doesn't. It doesn't look. I don't know. He looks athletic. He looks quick. It looks like he has the ability to like slide his feet a little bit better. But I feel like I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know necessarily what causes guys to be stiff and struggle changing directions. But I feel like it's something that'd be fixable.
Well, you gotta wonder. I mean, Dayton. I know they've been like a Cinderella type team before, but like obviously he's not at a big time program where he's getting like the best coaching either. So like I don't know, once he gets to NBA, and then like his lower body strength that Jake was talking about too. I mean, yeah, look at some of the strength and improvements that some of our really skinny guys like Collins has seen. Even Simons is still super skinny, but he's already a lot bigger than he was when he came to the league. I don't think that's going to be a huge problem.
I'm high on him. Shout out to everybody who messaged me looking to help me out. I'll DM you guys after the stream. I'll DM you guys after the stream. This chat is fire. Lakers forever loves our chat. I know I love my chat, man. And we're missing some OGs too that usually, spice things up even more. Who are the OGs we're missing right now? Because like we got some, Necron's in here a lot. I'm probably gonna miss some guys, so I shouldn't even name people out. But AM Productions in here a lot. Jake's in here a lot. The People's Mix, of course. Good old People's Mix.
Clay.
Yep.
Clay's Mellis Day.
Cyber. Yeah. Alvaro. But we're missing where's Trevin been? Trevin's been gone. We're also
I don't know.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
there's a
what.
lot of people in school, so like
Yeah,
tonight's a
I
school
kind of look
night.
forward
Yeah.
to summer streams. Will have like a lot less
It,
to cover, and it might just literally be BSing the whole
what's
time
up,
because we
Ash?
won't have basketball in the summer. But like we can talk
Yeah.
about free agency and then summer league and whatnot.
It,
We'll have post game streams for summer league and people probably won't be in school. So first P last JL is trying to be Yo Mama or Captain Cap'n. The two Jasons, yeah, Jason
the
Joseph,
two
Jason
Jasons,
Jensen.
yeah. Jason's not hasn't been in
Yeah,
here
you're a
since I
little
yelled
too.
at him. I
You're
feel bad.
you're a little hard on him.
No, okay. I went back and
Yeah.
looked at it, like watched it, and I just want to say, like, it's when I'm like upset, and you just keep saying you don't know anything, you don't know what you don't know, and I kept asking him to clarify what he was meaning. Like, are you talking about I don't know, like what trades were out there, or what, like he was directed to do, like just clarify what your statement was. And then he kept saying like you're just assuming, you just don't know, like, and I just kept asking him like
Yeah.
what are you talking about, and then by like the 10th time he did it I just lost it. And
It wasn't even
yeah,
like
I mean I
anything you
didn't
were
really
saying. It was
like
more just like your tone. It was more just like your tone. Like
yeah.
when I get mad
Right.
at people, I try and like have a relaxed tone while I like but like
Yeah.
and I'll get mad, but no, I don't.
But I was
Yeah,
already
no,
yelling
I
and he
get it, I
kept
get it.
pushing me further. Yeah.
You know, I didn't. If you were like way out of line, I would like shut you down. You know what I mean? I haven't had to do that. You know, like I probably won't
Yeah.
ever have to do that. But like you're also like really frustrated because of the trade deadline. You know what I mean? So it was like
Yeah.
don't, you know.
Well, we just watched that stupid
Mm-hmm.
Olshey interview too, and
Yeah.
I was so triggered.
But you,
Dame Dollar, we would have mentioned you, but you said
Dave
you were
Dalla,
leaving like an
I was
hour ago. So
literally just reading people off the screen, bro. I said I was gonna miss a lot of people. Like I'll name drop people, and I'll definitely miss a ton of people. But then I'll like recognize them in chat, like, oh yeah, that's Dame Dollar. He's in here all the time. So I was just name dropping the regulars that were in chat.
Jake says, I blame it on the lack of sleep and have little kids.
It's just like you get this like edge to your voice. Like once you reach a certain level of like irritation, you get this certain edge to your voice, and it's like I
was so
damn,
mad. Yeah.
And it's funny when it's like against Olshey, but when it's
Well, then the next night we had this.
What you said?
Well, then the next night we had that stupid referee not called a goaltending.
I was just myself. I was that pissed watching the game, so I was literally just myself on the stream. And it's like, you know, on TV, if I ended up on TV, obviously I wouldn't be like that. Obviously, like I hold back because it's TV, whatever, NBC Sports Northwest or whatever the hell I'd be working for. But that's why I like YouTube. Like I can be myself, and I knew you guys want something to relate to. So like I should be myself, and I should rant like that. It's entertaining. You guys can relate to it. Hopefully it makes you feel better when my audio cuts out and I'm you know, ranting without any sound. But yeah. AKA Miami says Miami got shape up, then we'll be best in the East. No, you won't. Milwaukee will be better. What were you gonna say, Eric?
I would say I had the head of the forum tell me that today.
Tell you what? What's Sly say?
Slice.
I think I saw it. I forget what was said though.
Yeah, I'll bring it up. Hold on. Well, I'm sick of people telling me this.
Actually, I remember. Yeah.
So
it was
obviously,
kind of a long conversation too. Damn.
Obviously, you and I wanted them to trade Whiteside, right? I have not denied that, right? But starting a couple weeks ago, I had started to resign myself to the fact they weren't going to trade Whiteside, so I was prepared for that. That had nothing to do with why I was mad at the trade deadline or with Olshey's comments. And so I was getting sick of people telling me that I'm only mad because they didn't trade Whiteside. That's not why I was mad. Yeah, it sucks that they didn't go that direction, in my opinion, but I understand like why they didn't, and I was fine with it. I just don't get why they're not trying to field the
Yeah.
best possible roster right now, and that's why I was mad. And they had no desire to explore options to make the roster better, whether it's in the buyout market or um, they had no interest in exploring options for trading Whiteside, whether that's just what they said or not. Even though they wouldn't have had to say that, that's probably a little bit of both. But like, um, it just made me mad that we don't have any direction. I want them to pick a direction and go in it, whether that's my direction or not. And my problem is we're going halfway into several different directions and not committing to one. And it does no benefit to trade Scal and save money. Like if it doesn't get you out of the luxury tax, other than to give like $2 million more to the owner, and that's fine. And that's certainly her right to do that. It just sucks. Like if that's where we're at, where we make a trade like that, where it doesn't even get us out of the luxury tax, but we're just saving a couple $1 million. That's just my opinion. It has
like,
nothing to do with not
It's
trading
like the whole
Whiteside.
situation. There's like a depth, a certain level of depth of context that is involved with your opinion, my opinion. You know what I mean? There's a certain level of depth, and people will like read something and won't like read enough or pay attention enough or like comprehend that full amount of context. So they'll comprehend like this much of it, and then they'll come back and say, well, you just mad because, and then they'll just based off this much context and won't understand or won't ignore or won't know the rest of it. Even if you literally try and make it the rest of that as obvious as possible, state it different ways, state it as clearly as you can. So then it gets frustrating when people try and tell you, oh, this is why you're mad, or this is what you think, and it's literally based on like 10% of your reason, or it won't even be your reason. You know what I mean? Because the whole context, that whole amount of context, all that is needed, like, because it's based off, the entire picture, and they're taking a sliver of the picture. And
I've gone out of my way to not make it about keeping or trading Whiteside. I think that was dumb. I don't think it's going to work out with Whiteside and Nurkic, and I think that's crazy that they think it will work out next year. But that's the route they're taking. It's fine. And Jake says it's a weird situation to commit, though, and that's kind of my point too. Is like, okay, if you make that determination, like, you know what, the injuries this year, it's just at best we're going to be the 8th seed if you're being realistic about it. Like, do we really want to commit to this year? Fine, but then like trading Scal away for nothing and then not using that roster spot. Scal is actually, I mean, there's not a huge chance of this, but he's actually one of the young players who still has pop potential and can still get better and improve enough to help you as a rotational player down the line, in my opinion. And so the fact that we just gave him away not only does nothing for this year, but it doesn't help us get better next year either, when we could possibly re-sign him for cheap and have like a nice rotational big that doesn't necessarily need a ton of playing time but could still develop, and he has a lot of tools to be successful. He's got a nice mid-range jumper. He's got a nice three-point shot, which we haven't really seen. He's got length. He's not the greatest rebounder, but like I think if he was in a different lineup and not like the only center or big man in games, like I think he would have been better at rebounding. It's instead of it all falling on his shoulders. But like it just makes me mad that like, so we didn't commit to this year, but we didn't commit to like possibly keeping young players for next year. And then we can say all we want about we don't know, the buyout market's not as good this year. We couldn't get a Cantor level player, but we don't know that if we're not even trying to do that. Like we don't make a call to a guy like Marvin Williams. And then on top of that, you get in a guy like that, and it could be a situation like Hood last year where he loves playing here so much that it helps us re-sign him for cheap next year. And then we get the leg up on signing one of those guys instead of having to talk him into signing and maybe overpaying and offering a full mid-level exception instead of like $5 million or $6 million. And I don't know. There's just lots of benefits to trying to get someone with that roster spot. And then what happens last year even if Cantor wasn't as good as he was, just having an extra big man when after that point of the season where we couldn't add anyone for the playoffs, having an extra big man when Nurk went down, like completely saved us. Otherwise, there's no way we would have made it past the first round, let alone make it all the way to the Western Conference Finals. So, like, you never know how much you'll need depth or what position. Like, there's always players like Trey Burke and Kyle O'Quinn. Like, those, they're not great, but they could help you in a game. Like, even if it's just one game somewhere down the line, I mean, that could be the difference between making the playoffs and not making the playoffs. It's just kind of frustrating that it's just to save a little bit of money, especially when they save so much money in the Ariza trade. So it didn't really make sense to me if you weren't going to get out of the luxury tax completely to then worry about like a couple $1 million. And I know that sounds crazy. Like $2 million is a lot of money, but like in the context of an NBA basketball team and payroll and how much money they're paying this whole team and how Dame's in his absolute prime and peak of his powers right now, like to not give him the best possible chance, whether that's like half a percentage more than it would be if we didn't sign someone to the buyout or 10% or whatever. It doesn't really matter to me. The fact is that they're not even trying to do it is what bugs me and is concerning to me. And that also makes me think, well, what if they're this cheap with their money next year and like they don't keep Ariza just because he cost $12 million instead of $1.8 million. And then we're talking about not having the best team possible because they're penny pinching instead of all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. It's just concerning to me that $2 million is worth all this. Whether we can argue about buyout candidates, how much they'd help or not. And above that too, if we weren't looking at just dumping the money, we could have possibly traded for someone that day with that roster spot. You know what I mean? Like we didn't explore trades that would have brought someone in because. What are you doing?
I was timing. I was timing how long that was.
Okay. I just saw you like
man,
rolling your eyes.
That was like
whatever.
that was like a 6-minute. That was a record. That was a record. No, you can make your point. I was just kidding. I don't care how long you talk about. It's just funny. Because it's complicated. But we've pointed it out to like everybody in here watching. You know what I mean? Like if they don't understand, they don't understand at this point. I get your frustration. Unless you were just having a conversation with Jake, because I know Jake plays the devil's advocate on everything with us. I feel like, which can be good, you know, because he knows his stuff. But like he sometimes I feel like he just he wants to disagree with us.
Yeah. Well, he's saying I just think they know they wouldn't be in the running for top guys. But I've already talked about this. They're like not every team has a roster spot available. Not every buyout candidate can go to the same teams. And even if it's a guy who necessarily isn't for this year, you know, you take a chance on a Jonah Bolden or something who could be a good fit in Stott's system, a big who can defend and rebound and hit some threes. And, you know, it's not a whole lot of money difference, but maybe you find a guy who can be a piece moving forward. And it sucks to trade Scal, but if you just traded him because he was injured, then I don't understand why you wouldn't bring in another body so you could have healthy bodies in practice, because that's one of the things they said was they didn't even have enough bodies to practice right now 5-on-5. So but yeah, just I'll drop it.
No, I got AM. I was trying to figure out, he was saying sent me a message. I guess I finally got it because it wasn't showing up. He was saying check your Instagram for like the last 10 minutes. It says he sent me a message 2 minutes ago. It probably just took a while to send the video, but he sent me a video of him shooting, I think. AM Productions.
Who's that?
Hitting an NBA 3. hitting an NBA 3. Is he going to hit more than one NBA 3? How many NBA 3s is he going to hit? I'm counting them off. I also got to watch to make sure he doesn't like flash the camera or anything bad that would get me destroyed on YouTube. Like destroyed by YouTube. Okay, that's 2 in a row. That's 3 in a row. He's shooting it like kind of like a little bit of a chest pass from there, but it's going in. Yeah, hitting 3 in a row.
Yeah.
Good job, AM. I'm proud of you, bro. I assumed he wanted, some attention for him draining NBA 3s. Yeah. Anyway, there you go. That's AM Productions hitting NBA 3s. Man, y'all gotta. I gotta record a rec league game and then upload like the one that I play well. But then you'll be like, hey, you used to when you play well. But like, if I'm hitting 8 for 10 from 3 off of picks and rolls,
just
you know what I mean? At 6'4", that's impressive.
Jake says he's gonna withhold his comments on the floor.
Lefty. But that's deep, so like I'll just kind of chuck it.
Melostay says he's shooting like it's a half-court shot.
I need to hit like 12, 13 threes in a row for you guys. And get a video of it. I still need to do a giveaway. But I'm gonna do that on my next shirts. Also, hey, Keep Mellow Portland hoodies are still like available. I haven't really plugged those. Because I got a couple orders initially, and I want to make sure they went through without any issues.
I want some game film of some of these guys in here that say they play on on like their high school teams and stuff. Like you have the YouTube videos of you in high school,
Dame Dalla out here hating. I deleted his message. Don't listen to Dame Dalla. He's a hater. He's a hater to me, and he's a hater to... He's just a troll. Do you guys want mailbag next year? Not really. That's a good mailbag question, though. I need to post a prompt for a mailbag. I forgot to do that, so I'll try and remember tonight. I got some other stuff I gotta do.
Yeah, I probably don't either, unless he's willing to take the minimum and come off the bench. I'd much rather start Collins, though.
Hey, so random...
yeah.
I was going to ask a random question, but if you wanted to continue on that. So
no, go ahead.
Nope, I'm done. The trade talk videos. Do you want to start doing like mailbags as well? Would you guys want like a mailbag from me and Eric, like once a week from like separate videos from both of us, like Eric's mailbag, Tori's mailbag? We could call it that. Like, would you want to do that? Like, I don't know, in place of like, because I'll do that. More Eric's trade talks.
If the people want that, I'll give it to them.
Or do you have like different?
Anyone cares about that.
Do you have like a different type of video that could be new that you'd want to see from Eric or something? Because I don't know. I want to get out more videos, more mailbags. After I need the All-Star break. I need like 4 or 5 days off to refresh because I'm just like streaming is easy, but like it gets monotonous and boring to like record yourself talking for an hour and a half, 2 hours. Like. Obviously, it's not hard work, but I mean, I don't know. It just gets listening to yourself talk for 2 hours in a row is just kind of like if you're burnt out, it's kind of tough. You know what I mean?
Hey, Clays, man, what's up with that? He said Eric's mailbag would take like 2 to 3 weeks late. I'm not Tori, man.
Yeah, I missed some mailbags. I'm also out here creating graphics. I'm also here working on a that's the thing. You guys got to know behind the scenes. I do some stuff. Like, I'm literally preparing for something. I've teased it, and it's a lot of work going into this. And I probably could tell you, but, like, I don't want to tell anybody because I think it's a really good idea, and I just don't want to tell anybody yet. So, but I'm working on something in the future. Like, business. Call it business.
Clays, after my last Trade Talk video, pretty much all of our podcasts and live streams turned into Trade Talk videos. So it was like,
everything you were being asked was stuff you answered on podcasts and stuff.
Right. Yeah. And
Stream
like stuff I'd already answered a million times. And like all you regulars already know our answer
stream
before
highlights.
we
That's
even
something I'll
answer them.
work on during the All-Star break. That's probably the only thing I'll work on during the All-Star break is stream highlights because I definitely want to get that out. And if I'm doing a bunch of other stuff, that's probably gonna be tough.
And then also, trades started happening too, which meant like it was hard to do a video, edit it, and then come out with it without it affecting like a 4-team, 12-player trade 3 nights before the trade deadline. And then you were trying to get a mailbag out with trade
also
questions before the trade deadline, which doesn't
for
make
the
sense
trade
now.
deadline, all the graphics and stuff, while also trying to figure out a way to get your webcam on without having it like on my screen at the same time. And I literally searched for a HDMI splitter for like an hour, went through entire like basically storage unit full of stuff, let's just call it that, like my old garage basically, because that house is empty. And I went through just a ton of stuff, finally found a HDMI splitter, and then it wouldn't, I thought it would work for like to display 2 different monitors on my PC, and it wouldn't because I don't have like the right like cables to do it with like 2 different types of connections. I only had HDMI. So I don't know. Basically, I was working that out for 3 hours the 3 hours that I wanted to be editing the mailbag. I thought I'd just go find an HDMI splitter and it would work, and I couldn't. So, obviously that's not, entertaining for you guys to hear. That's just the struggle. You know what I mean? Like, I was going to edit a mailbag during that and get it out like the morning of the trade deadline, and I didn't get to it. So I do want to start making videos again.
Yeah. Clay's really wants, since he's like a superstar on Patreon or whatever you call that group, he wants us to acknowledge that he's the first to mention Sadiq Bey in this chat.
I think you were talking about someone else. Yeah, Sadiq Bey. Okay, there you go. Sadiq
acknowledge
Bey.
Clay's. I haven't watched much of Villanova this year, so
hey man, he's Clace is. What were you gonna say?
I think during the All-Star break, I'm gonna just look for like schedules on college basketball games on TV and just record some and have them on the DVR to watch some stuff.
Clace,
Just start watching some of his prospects
on a live stream. It's more than once a month for Clace now because he upped it to $25. So now like 2 to 3 times a month you can come on, because that's the thing. If it's $10 a month, then once a month you can get on. If it's if it's $25, then it's 2 to 3 times a month. It's like, there's honestly not like, we're not gonna do a 3-man post game or anything, but
do all the other Patreon members just never respond back to you, or what?
Russell first round exit Westbrook responded back, but like I just told him, just let me know when you want to come on. But he's like busy with stuff. I mean, like I'm not gonna do a 3-man podcast. Like I'm not gonna do that every time. You know what I mean? I can't bring him on every time, but like 2-3 times. So whenever he wants, he just has to let me know.
He says he gets back from Germany on Friday, so sometime
just
after that.
Me on Patreon. If I don't get your message, then let me know in the post game. But I should get like a notification and stuff from it. Yeah, so just message me on Patreon. Because you got like 2 or 3 times a month now. Reggie Coos, the other $25 Patreon donor is like that guy who's famous on YouTube who has like 1.3 million subscribers. I've never like seen him in the chat, and I don't know like how often he watches me, but like he said he watched me at True Blazer fan and like watches some of my stuff. So I don't know how much he watches. I think he was more of like a watching a video type of guy. Now I keep doing a bunch of live streams. But that's the other $25 donor. So I told him he's able to come on when he wants. He's like, yeah, that sounds cool. But I just said he has to let me know. So that's the thing. I gotta reach out to people again and see if people see him. Because like a couple of people, I only know how to message them on Patreon, and I don't know if they check. But like they should be in here. I told people in here like multiple times, if you're a patron, are you eating? What the hell? That's annoying. What the hell is that? It sounded like... I don't think you realize how loud that was. What was that?
Sorry. Just getting my son's snack ready for school tomorrow.
Might want to mute your mic or something. Because it sounded like you were like putting the phone in the bag and then like rolling the bag on the counter.
I
No,
have the
bags are
mic
loud.
kind of
That's
far
what I've
away, but
noticed.
yeah, it
Like
must not have been far.
bags come through mics well or something. Cause like I'll game here and there and I'll reach in a bag and I always, bro, what the hell? And I'm like, I don't think it was that loud. Oh, that was so loud. No, you were fine. It wasn't
My
like
bad, guys.
anything. It was just like couldn't focus on anything. Sound like you're reaching into a fast food bag. I just pictured you there with like some Jack in the Box, like barbecue beefy, like saucy cheeseburger starting to drip on your hands while you were trying to pull it out of the bag.
Yeah, I was timing your next rant to see
I'll
how
give you
long
6
I had
minutes.
to go to fast food.
No, I have nothing to rant about right now. I hope I haven't ranted for 6 minutes in a row. I know I rant for like long, but usually after 3 minutes I try like I don't know. I try to give you I don't know. Have I ever ranted for 6 minutes with you on the mic where I just ranted for 6 minutes straight? Oh, not that
Probably.
long. Maybe once.
Jake asked what your favorite fast food chain is.
But I hear your mouth moving, bro. Are you sure you're not eating? Yeah.
I may have ate a couple of the snacks
bro.
before.
Did you hear that, chat? I just got that image back in my head, man. My favorite fast food chain, probably Burgerville. I love Burgerville. It sounds like he's opening a pack of peanut butter crackers and struggling. Hey, Eric and Tori, how do you think Olshey looks at Gabriel? Just cap filler, long-term piece going into the future. I have no clue. No clue whatsoever. There's nothing to say like one or the other.
Obviously, the rest of the season, if he gets minutes.
But that's like dependent on Stotts, too, you know.
That'll be decent, yeah. I like Burgerville,
Lakers Forever
too.
said, never heard of Burgerville. Where do you live? Live in Portland area. It's like the northwest. Yeah. I'd kind of say it's the northwest version of In-N-Out. Like in a way, like you say, In-N-Out's like a lot better, but like I think like it.
They have a lot more options.
Yeah,
like In-N-Out doesn't have fish and shit.
In-N-Out's like minimal. It's like the northwest version of In-N-Out, and like the fact that it's like fast food, but like the burgers are really good, in my opinion. And the fries are good. Like,
yeah. My only problem with Burgerville is like you just get like a burger and fries and a Coke, and it's like $13. It's a little expensive for fast food, but
fries are so good. And
overall, I like it.
Y'all just making me want Burgerville, man. Favorite fast food chain is In-N-Out, just because I can't have it a lot. Burgerville greater than In-N-Out. $13 damn. Yeah, it's expensive, man, but that you just gotta find the right things. I like the like cheeseburgers on the side. Just the sauce they put on like the cheeseburgers that you get on the side. Like they put some sort of sauce. Just bro. Their shakes are good too. I used to in high school. I'd like when I'd skip, I wouldn't have a first period my senior year, and then okay. I'm gonna go on a little sidetrack back into my past. Okay, I'm not recommending this because I know some of you are in high school. So this is not going to be a good example. But I'm gonna go back to my past. You know, don't take motivation from me. I'm not trying to inspire you to be like this. But so in high school, man, I knew I was going to go play basketball at a community college, which your GPA doesn't matter for, really. So I didn't really care about my grades. I just wanted to graduate. So you had 6 periods, first, second, third, lunch, fourth, fifth, sixth. I didn't have a first because I didn't need it. I had a second, but you had to take 5 classes, and I also didn't need the second class to graduate. So, like, I kept my grade up for basketball season. After basketball season, I literally stopped going. I didn't really care about my grades. As I said, I was going to community college to play basketball. I knew that was going to be the case. So I stopped going to the second period, failed that class. But I didn't need it to graduate, so it didn't matter to me. Third period, I had a teacher who literally would let me do work even if I never showed up. and he didn't take attendance. So I didn't show up to third period either. I just go in and get some work and do the work, whenever. He didn't do tests or anything. It was like current world problems or something, projects. I don't even remember what it was called, but he was the teacher that would let literally everybody sit on their phones, and he would sit on his. He was like a football coach, right? So I didn't show up first, second, third period. I had lunch, so I'd show up for lunch, right? I'd wake up, go to lunch with my friends. If not with my friends, I'd go get a milkshake from Burgerville. That was my thing in high school. I'd show up to fourth period, sports literature. The teacher was, she was pretty attractive. Fifth period, I had PE, and then sixth period, I was a teacher's assistant for a teacher who never needed help with anything and didn't care if I showed up or not. So I didn't have a sixth period. So basically, I had lunch, a fourth period, and then fifth period PE. And I was a jock, so I'd show up for that. That was my senior year after basketball. I don't know why I told that story, but yeah, that was and I graduated. So I don't recommend it, but that's when I was hooked on Burgerville milkshakes, and that was my go-to. I'd wake up, go to lunch, get a Burgerville milkshake, go to sports lit, go to PE, stay in the gym and during sixth period and shoot around, or I'd go home. Dave Dollar, of course, Troy doesn't show up to classes but shows up to lunch. I mean, I graduated, though. See, that was the thing. I wasn't going to not graduate. I just didn't care about my GPA.
Jake's favorite food group is shakes.
You guys are, God damn, man. I'm going to have to go to, like, Winco or something because that's the only thing. I mean, does McDonald's have good shakes, or Taco Bell doesn't have shakes, do they?
I don't think Taco Bell does.
Yeah,
McDonald's
is
all right.
Good though. I don't like Frosties like I do milkshakes. But now I want a milkshake. What did you think about my senior year of high school story though?
That's pretty sweet. I mean, yeah, like once you're accepted somewhere, like you're going somewhere, and you've met all the minimum requirements.
Well, community college has
it's hard not to slack.
And I knew I was gonna go play basketball there, so
Dame Dollar thought it was funny that you'd show up for lunch.
Why not? I mean,
after being at Burgerville, you show up just
a lot of
for
time.
lunch.
Actually, about half the time I would sleep in until fourth period, but I'd wake up and go to fourth. But gotta get that milkshake, man. Can't be scared. I never had a period off in high school. Somehow needed every class. That's weird. Everybody I knew needed like 5 classes their senior year to graduate, and somehow I ended up in a position where I only needed 4. Like I didn't need that math class. I think it was just because I was a year ahead or whatever in math. Eric Kleiser says your high school story was about as exciting as your high school basketball clips. I don't know what that means, but it sounds like you're dissing me. So it sounds like you're on the border of getting a 300-second ban. If you weren't a Patreon donor, you wouldn't have gotten you would have been banned, 300-second banned with the ban hammer. But you bought yourself a little more leeway for the support, and I appreciate it. But the diss is hurtful. Jake is actually making me mad because I'm actually really hungry right now. Emmy, take a joke. I'm joking. Y'all, my reactions to you guys trolling me is always not serious. But sometimes people think it's serious. It's never, bro. If you're trolling me and I'm responding to you and acting serious, I'm probably acting serious to troll you back. We got Cly's in here dissing me, bro.
He's all about dissing.
I know,
high school
man. He's like
basketball
obsessed,
stories
dude.
in high school. So.
That's why he wants to link up, play basketball, so he can act like he's obsessed with me playing basketball. Hey, that's fine by me, but
I'm not gonna lie, I still like McDonald's. I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but Yeah.
Alvaro Bazan says, seeing you guys freak out 10 minutes before the trade deadline ending was priceless, LMAO. I might have to cut that up and make it its own video.
Although we were pretty patient, I
I
think
know,
people
and I
were
was
wanting
like,
us to
"Son,
rent, and we
please
kept
come
waiting to see
through."
if there was a.
Yeah. Damn dollar, Eric Kleiser, don't do it. I know too much about being banned. It's the worst 300 seconds of your life. That's funny. That's funny, bro. You guys are pissing me off talking about food right now, honestly, because I'm starving and I'm streaming right. Like y'all could keep your phone in your hand. I don't know what you guys are watching this on. Maybe it's on your TV. If I'm on your TV, what's up? It's pretty cool that I'm on your TV. Mama, I made it. But you guys could take your phone or leave your TV on with me on that thing and go get food and go make a milkshake. You won't be able to hear what I'm saying, but I could still be, on your screen and you guys can go get food. I'm on the screen though, so I can't go get food. I'm trapped. I'm trapped in here. So I can't go get food.
Yep.
You can even get food. I hear you eating in the background. God, man. I literally hear do I have a bag in here? Oh yeah. This is literally what I heard.
I've been so.
It's like, bro.
What was in that bag? Burgerville?
That I need to go throw away. What were you saying though?
Clay says at least you can go get food. I'm stuck on a Turkish base with almost no options for food, Tori. Yeah, come on, stop complaining.
Well, it's kind of ironic that you're in Turkey and you can't get food, but bad joke.
When
that was a dad joke, and I'm not the dad here.
You didn't even, you got nothing.
Yeah, because your lame ass didn't back me up with some fake laughter.
You want fake laugh? When I first got my license, that's like every night after basketball practice, I just go through Burger King or McDonald's or something on the way home. There wasn't as much options back in the day, but yeah, definitely didn't have the most nutritious diet. But I was skinny as hell back in high school. So
you guys are really gonna talk about Dairy Queen? I hate y'all, man. I hate y'all. I literally hate y'all. I literally am about to start wielding my power, wielding the banhammer, man. For anybody that talks about food. You can talk about water.
Alvaro's favorite drink is water. You and Hamza, one of the Hamzas.
DQ food is so hit or miss. Not their banana split. That's hit.
Yeah, ice cream stuff is legit, like you said.
I don't know why you would go to Dairy Queen for anything else. You know what I mean? Like, it's for ice cream.
Well, they started doing like the $6 lunch thing where you get like food and a treat. It's not bad.
3,000 hour ban? How long is that? That'd be like
a hammer.
That'd be like
You said you were good at math.
Days. Yeah, y'all killing me because I'm hungry, man. It's nice that we're past the trade deadline, so now we can get back to food talk segments. Instead of people, what if we trade Ariza for God, I can't even remember. I can't remember that suggestion. There would be like some bad suggestions, like what if we trade Ariza for Otto Porter Jr.? Oh, it doesn't match salary. Oh, what if we trade Ariza for Julius Randle? Like, no. I'm kind of glad to be past that, to be honest. Salt and straw is overrated? What are you talking about, bro? The Domino's is so shit here? What are you talking about, bro? Our Domino's is... In Vancouver, I think it's good. I don't know where Jake lives, but...
Domino's is good for, like, in terms of those kind of places. Like the Pizza Hut, Domino's.
Ariza for a DQ
type
Blizzard
places.
would be nice right now. Yeah, no lie, man. Like, I want something cold. I want to literally eat something cold, like a milkshake or something, and feel like the coldness spread throughout my entire head. That's what I want right now. I'm not standing in line for an hour for an ice cream, period. Well, that's why you don't go where the lines... You don't go at the times when the lines are an hour to get through. I'm about to ban this Lakers Forever guy because he keeps talking about milkshakes, and that's what I'm craving right now, so... literally killing me. I've never wanted a milkshake more than I have right now.
I'm just picturing Jake Carey going into a Domino's in Emmett and asking for a well-done pizza.
What?
Can I please get my pizza well done, please? You want a medium or rare?
Pizza's always
rare,
underdone.
medium, or well done.
Maybe I like it a little underdone. I don't know. Because I always thought their pizza's good. Like, cold? Because it's never cold. Oh, see, he likes his pizza burnt. Yeah. Yeah, maybe that's it. Honestly, crispy... Y'all make me... Like a crispy oven... You know, those crispy ones you put in the oven, thin crust. See you first.
Good night, First P. This guy said, "Can I have my pizza boneless?" Everyone started laughing. That's funny.
So we're on to...
We did little make your own pizzas.
I can't even buy food tonight. I only got $5 in donations. First P last JL tried to help me out. I appreciate it, bro. Try to help me eat tonight.
Jake Carey, just pretend like when you get pizza from there, it's a take and bake and go put it in your oven for a little longer.
Somebody donates and tells me to like get something from Winco with the money, I will.
Look at you begging for donations to go get food.
I don't know.
I wonder if it's going to work.
If it was earlier, I'd go get it, bring it back, eat it on stream. But it's 11:50. But the Winco's not like next door though, so sadly.
Yeah. Lakers Forever wants to give you $20 to order a pizza and eat it live as an ASMR video.
No, I'm not gonna go through the process of ordering a pizza to have it delivered. I don't even know if I can get delivery right now. It's 11:50.
Jake says, "I legit do that. I'll preheat my oven so it's ready when it gets delivered."
That actually is. Yeah, that's kind of smart.
Puts it back.
True Blazer fans. Party on Blazers Uprise. True Blazer fans. What do you mean, True Blazer fans?
I think it just means we're the True Blazer fans, not talking about the guy who runs True Blazer fans.
Every time I see that, though, I always think, I'll donate $20 too for me to eat pizza live on stream. Y'all want to see me eat pizza, man. Get some fries. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. I can go to McDonald's and get some fries now. Or Winco get some fries. Because I said Winco. First P is like
such a good person.
The top donator for this channel. He's just in terms of like the super chats.
He's the one that got you the rap too.
Are you a Patreon donor, First P? I don't know if he is. Because shoot, I'd put him on the stream without him being a Patreon donor, just because he donated to get me to get that right. I'm still gonna get that out by the end of the season. I'm gonna work on it during the All-Star break. All right, because I won't be like prepping for podcasts, and I don't know. I won't be doing. I mean, I might be busy, but I'm gonna try and get it done during the. But like the thing is, I'm gonna send it out and have it get mixed.
Jake says I like
thing. Like I'm not gonna put out like crap.
You should get Dame to produce it.
Dame Dollar says I donated over $85. Did he? I can't remember. Like, I mean, we've been streaming for a while.
Probably just combined. There were several chats before the first P1 where he donated the full 100, where like it got up to like $40 or something.
Hey, that was a good. That was a good way to get some donations. I should have put it out and then start that back up again. See, that's like my motivation for.
Yeah. See, that's why you should get that wrap out soon.
Or else ain't nobody gonna want to pay for another one.
I don't know if it's trash.
That's awesome.
People might want another one because it was so bad, so they could make fun of you more.
I guarantee you it's not going to be like off. Like compared to just the random person out there, it will at least be average, at least. But like, I feel like I could do it good if I had the right vibe, the right beat, the right pizza with the cheese, well done, please. ASMR. Alvaro Bazan, $2 donation. I don't think I can buy pizza with $2. ASMR. Appreciate the $2 dono, though. I sounded so ungrateful. Oh, man. $1 equals one less day for Tori to get it out. Okay, so 11th. When's the last game? The 12th or whatever? Yeah, $1 is one less day for me to get it out. Starting now, though. Since Russell first round exit Westbrook said it. What's up, Russell first round exit Westbrook? Nachos, please. I missed you, bro. Hopefully school's going well for you. Lakers forever. Ungrateful bastard.
Yeah, Jake, Culver's been bad.
Yeah.
The shooting, at least.
I'm kind of surprised he's shooting so bad, but I think he'll figure it out.
No, he doesn't have Wiggins in front of him.
Exactly. Dude, I feel like Wiggins is all of a sudden going to be, like, really good. I don't know. Like, I don't think so, but, like, if they get him to buy into moving off the ball and, like, playing in that system and not taking as many long twos and playing defense because they're a contender, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like if there's any team to, like, actually get him to fulfill his potential, it'd be Golden State. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
That's scary. That's scary to me.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know about... Because they're going to have a tough time building a team around Wiggins and Curry and Thompson and Green. They're kind of stuck with that roster, so if he doesn't pop, that's going to anchor him down. But yeah, it'll be interesting.
Yep.
I watched. Was that last night? No, it must have been Friday night. Whatever. There was a Lakers game on. Were they playing Golden State Lakers? ESPN or something. And Wiggins it was weird. His personality didn't seem like it meshed well with the other guys on the bench. It looked like he was just kind of sitting there, and like the other guys were joking around, and he was just like,
well, I mean,
dead
he's
face,
new to the team,
quiet.
You know?
Yeah, he's new, but like I don't know. It just seems like he wasn't even trying to like interact with anyone.
Yeah, I probably felt a little. I don't know, new kid in class. He's also kind of.
He just seemed like really out of place. Yeah,
take him some time.
you'd think like those guys though would do a little more to
Yeah, wasn't it young
make
guys
him
though?
feel welcome. They were just like ignored.
I mean, if it was, I
Yeah.
don't know. Like, I think he'll be fine because he's not like KD levels of like petty or passive aggressiveness or anything like that. He's like legitimately just seems like soft spoken. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, they could have Wiseman and Wiggins around Draymond, Steph, and Clay. How good would that team be?
Because that depends on how good Wiseman is.
I mean, like, just like if that was the team projecting them before season, like, let's say nothing big happens with any of the Western Conference teams, like, do you put them in the class like the Lakers and the Clippers? Do you put them in the class like the Nuggets and the Jazz, Blazers, Rockets? Like,
Oh no, you went out for a second.
yeah, no, it was just
Are you back?
3-second. I don't know what's. I'm like lagging.
It's really glitch. Yeah.
Don't lag on me, motherfucker.
Do KD and Kyrie ever come out of the East in Brooklyn? No. Russell Westbrook said he donated on PayPal.
I'm not sure. Can y'all hear us? Cause they should be able to hear us. I have like a bar. Okay, my stream's better. I don't know what's up with that. Okay, PayPal dono. Damn. He dropped a $50 donation, bro. He said, the Russell first round exit Westbrook said, "You said you'd eat nachos on stream if I donated 50 ASMR, please. Also get the rap out soon, LOL." Oh yeah, god damn it. All right, I gotta eat nachos on stream. I don't remember saying that, but like, sure. I mean, like I guess I know.
You gotta come through for him now.
Alvaro Bazan says, "I can hear you and see you, unfortunately." Wow, bro. So I gotta get that out. By like the end of the All-Star break. Cool, sick. I guess I have to learn how to mix myself. Oh no, man. I'll be fine because I just got a $50 donation. Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate the donation, man. I got you. Russell first round exit Westbrook, man. He's also up there in top donors. I need to I wonder if there's a way to check that. I'd add up PayPal to YouTube.
Lakers forever wants to hear you crunch the nachos. Tori the sellout. Tori wants to send the money back.
Hey, once my business takes off in 3 years, I won't be selling out for anything. I won't be making any deals. I won't be, and you guys are gonna actually miss me selling out. You know, because I'm selling out to do stuff that y'all want to actually see. Apparently, like eat some nachos. I guess. I don't have nachos right now, so it can't be like this stream, but future stream I'll do it. I'll do it after the 11th.
Yeah.
I'll do it. We play the 11th and the 12th. I'll do it on one of those streams. But I'm not going to do it at the start. I'm not going to do it with 150 people watching. I'm going to do it I'll go upstairs and make it. And what's your business, Tori? This is going to sound like BS, but I've literally said this all season. I don't know if Emmy's heard this. I have a business plan, like a YouTube-oriented business plan that I can't really disclose. I can't really disclose it. I need to look at the camera more. I just realized that. I just always look at the screen. I can't really disclose it, but I'm going to do big things. You guys will know probably in the summer sometime. Maybe the fall. Eric knows, but I've sworn him to secrecy. That's if you're still relevant in 3 years. The goal is to be relevant AF. as kids your age would say, Dame Dollar.
Ouch, Dame Dollar. What's that supposed to mean anyway?
No, like I got plans to do some cool stuff. Like you guys will think it's dope, honestly. You guys will think it's dope. And it would be a ton of fun. And it would we could do like so much more cool stuff with this channel. And by extension, some other stuff. I ain't gonna speak any more on that. You need some econ help? I got you. Like what type of econ help are you offering? I've taken macro, micro, I've taken tons of business classes. Growing the beard back, I need to shave, line it up. But I like having it this length. This is my preferred length, honestly. Damn, did you just make out with your mic? What the hell was that? 1080 the fan said something about YouTube channels being too critical on Olshay. I wonder who they are talking about. Did they really? Which means they listen to us, bro.
What show on 1080?
You guys gotta rewind it and take a video and send it to me on Twitter, DM it to me or something, because I would play it on a stream. If Chad can stay relevant for 3 years, so can Tori. Yeah, Chad isn't relevant anymore. Myers Leonard just ended his career tonight. Putting him on blast, bro.
Well, if it was prime time, they hate Olshay too, so they wouldn't have. They would think it's funny if people were ripping Olshay.
Are you sure it was 1080 or was it a different station? Because 1080, I thought, hated Olshay.
It's probably 620, because that's what station Chad's on. But Alvaro's not answering. Captain got banned on Twitter? What did he do?
Why would he get...
I wonder if it's for impersonating Woj, maybe? I don't know.
No, I follow him.
ESPN tries to come down on that.
Goddamn, Twitter banned me for a joke tweet. I'm back now. Rest in peace, Godzonia. Rest in peace, the Heat. Dame really underperformed tonight. I'll expect 70 next game. All in caps. He's funny, man. I like the persona. Yes, Woj in a sideways Blazers hat that's just horribly photoshopped onto it. Oh my god, man. I just retweeted his new account, I guess. I already followed him, so I don't know if that was his backup or
what. He said it was around 4-3, and it was after the trade deadline. Do you know who comes on at 3:30 on Thursdays on 1080? Jason Quick.
So who said it then? Alvar.
He said it was after it was the guy they were interviewing. So I'm right then. I told you a long time ago.
I'm not even hyped that he people should know who we are, man. We're the YouTube people that hate on everything.
No, I'm saying there was a day we had a podcast on a Wednesday, and I broke down my theory that the Blazers were complacent and they had kind of tuned out the coach and everything we said about the Blazers. He almost said verbatim on the show the next day to them, and I was like, "What the heck?" Not that he couldn't have had the same opinions, but that would make sense if he was actually listening. What's up, Jason Quick?
They just do radio now, right? They don't do a video cast or anything like that on TV or on anything?
No, once 620 became the home of the Blazers, they booted all the 1080 guys off of there. So yeah, it's only radio. But you can if you go to 1080thefan.com, you can go back and look at it would be primetime. So you just click on the primetime app, and then on Thursday would have you could either download the first hour of the show on Thursday, or the Jason Quick interview is usually by itself.
Yeah, we should find that. If you can find that.
I always podcast them, and it's on my phone to listen
YouTube
to.
channels being too critical. That's funny. Why wouldn't he just say our name, bro? Like, why do people have to? Why do people have to do it like that? There's literally only one YouTube channel that's being critical, and anybody who knows anything about Blazers coverage on YouTube knows that it's Blazers Uprise, and knows that it's me, and knows that it's you. So why wouldn't he just say Blazers Uprise? Like, is that giving us too much name dropping us? You know, we're not worthy.
Yeah, they
of
don't
that.
want to.
By the.
Well, none of these people want us to become better
YouTube
than any of them,
or,
so why would they do that?
YouTube channels, you know what I mean? Like you're making people go look at YouTube.
Well,
you know?
that could.
Name dropping you guys does nothing for him. Name dropping Jason Quick doesn't do anything for me right now, but
maybe he was watching the trade deadline stream.
He might have. You never know who's watching. That's the thing, because they're not in chat. You know, and I don't know. Like I kind of like feel like okay, the people typing in chat are watching, but like I bet there's people right now who don't type in chat who are watching. Right? You got 70 people in here.
Quick's the guy who I don't know, it was like a few days or a week before the trade deadline said Olshey should go on vacation and not do a single thing. So, like, he probably thought it was hilarious that people were freaking out when he knew that.
Probably, but I would
thought they weren't going to do anything
I think
anyway.
we know more about the CBA than him, so I don't really care what he thinks. Like,
yeah. Yep.
You know, that's not being cocky. I've just studied it. $2 donation from RIP Blazer says, "Go buy an ice cold soda pop for you and Eric." Eric's an hour away. I don't.
Oh, thanks.
Okay, I'll buy you.
You have to buy me a pop now next time.
But if the next time I see you is at Moda Center, I buy you a pop from there because that's like $8. So he only gave me 2 to buy, so it has to be like a gas station or something. They have burners in chat. Jason Jensen was probably Jason Quick.
Yeah.
Some guys on Blazers Twitter and stuff are just extremely dumb. Yeah, you got a lot of characters. Mountain Dew Zero? Like 0 calorie Mountain Dew? No, I haven't.
New,
just
yeah.
wait till I come on the podcast. Your views will increase tenfold, reports Janet?
Wasn't.
What Janet? Captain Cap'n. I'm trying to imagine the human behind that account, man. And it's tough. I don't think you'd want to like come out of character, and his character is Captain Cap'n in the chat. So is he gonna come on here and just like scream this stuff at us because he types in all caps?
If he does come out of character, is that really that much better? Yo-Yo Mama's character.
Hey, I miss Yo-Yo Mama. I'd probably rather have Captain Cap'n. All this stuff got held for review, but I would see it, and chat wouldn't see it, and I just sit there dying, and nobody would know. It was awesome. See Alvaro. God, my bad for butchering your name, but I'll see you later, man. Thank you for
that.
The
he was,
$2
Jake. That he was.
For some pizza with cheese. Nah, the ASMR is the nachos.
There's
we got Yo-Yo Mama back. I'm always watching. Oh, I know you are. You're probably. I ain't gonna make that joke.
Nasir is not back yet. My guess is they'll hold him out through the All-Star break. But who knows?
Mama probably doesn't have hands to type with, if you know what I mean.
Yep, that's what he said. He said
God,
hands too busy to type.
Yep, that was nasty ass.
He says I'm
washing the dishes. Clyde's try to talk basketball past midnight. The hell? Do you guys know much about Zion's and Ingram's ankle injuries? Just saw they didn't play tonight with those injuries out for the game versus them, maybe? I mean, I wouldn't mind those guys being out. I'd be cool with that, to be honest.
I'm not as worried about like Ingram as I would be without Ariza.
Yeah.
Is there? I don't really know this. Chat probably knows this better than me, but are there a lot of other Blazer YouTube people like us?
Not like us. I don't think. Not to like break down the game. But maybe I'm missing something. Maybe other people are trying to do what we're doing. What were you gonna say?
Whatever that site you said was Clown and Pinwheel Empire under the Myers thing. They had a thing in their thing like live streams coming soon or something.
2-3 months. So.
Oh, okay.
And I feel like anybody who does post-game stuff is going to struggle against us because we'll get recommended first. We just have more live viewership, you know? I don't know. And I feel like anybody who tries to do like post-game shows like we do, I don't know. Like maybe they thought of it on their own, but I almost feel like they're trying to like copy what we're doing in a way. I wouldn't like say anything. I wouldn't be like a Pinwheel Empire and they're copying content. They copy content all the time. I wouldn't be like that, but do you guys listen to NBA podcasts? No, not really. We make one, or I make one and don't listen to any, but
I listen to some. I get really frustrated when I listen to people like Woj and those kind of guys know their stuff. But like a lot of other ones just cringe when they bring up trades and it's like stuff that's not even possible. That's why
I don't like read anything. You know what I mean? Like that's I hold myself to a higher standard than what I listen to. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, well, I wasn't saying Woj isn't boring because it is kind of boring if he's not dropping news, but like I'm just meant like trying to listen to ones that aren't super entertaining and not informational either. It's just kind of
podcast. That'd be the only one local I listen to. I listen to clips of that though, for the most part. National stuff's hard to listen to. Yeah, it's hit or miss.
I do like hearing just perspectives on other teams or like national guys talking about the Blazers, but then
I can't read or speak whatever Bink. I can't read that language. What language is that? Is that what language is that? Does anybody know? It's Russian, bro? How would I know it's Russian? Like, is that just... Are those characters only used in Russian language, or... We are from Russia? What's up?
What's up, man?
Sorry for trying to read that and completely butchering it. Cyrillic alphabet. Yeah, I just didn't know if that was only a Russian thing. Because I was thinking Russian. Oh, he's told us he's from Russia? Oh, got you. Slavic countries? Yeah, I thought there were some other countries. Slavic basketball is pretty good too, but not NBA-centric, though.
I just, because obviously you and I have watched every game, and I know you go back and watch some of the stuff you missed too. But like, I feel like national people don't watch every game, so when they talk about the Blazers, it's kind of like cringeworthy sometimes to listen to. I mean, some of them are better than others. I just don't like. You don't get a lot of information you don't already know.
Yeah. So I just read something on Twitter. I gotta respond to this. So somebody tweeted at Chad Doing, and Chad Doing retweeted it, and somebody tweeted at him. I know you catch some grief for being negative, but I dig your takes and commentary. When you're realistic and are able to look at your own team without being biased or being a cheerleader, you get tagged as negative or a hater. I'm with you, bro. Just keep being you, bro. What the? What? He literally does that to us. Like, he literally does that to us. So why is he retweeting that? I'm responding to that. He literally does that to us. He literally gives us that same grief. Like, am I wrong? Like, he calls those idiots who hate on Stotts, those morons that think Stotts is a great coach, those donkeys, you know, like, gives us grief and, like, calls us names and just tag us as, like, Stotts haters and idiots and... Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he always retweets Jason Peterson when he calls someone donkey and stuff. Or clown.
Sorry, I'm tweeting back. Phil, it's too silent. Talk, Eric.
Just reading that. So Chad's defense is that he's blocked by.
I was just kidding. I wasn't ordering.
Myers blocked him, so he had to
talk now.
He had to unblock him and then block him again to pull off the move. Of responding to his chat. I don't know.
So I'm important because he took the time. Okay. No wonder he hasn't blocked, though. Chad's... Harkless should have him blocked. Aminu, I don't know if he has a Twitter, but should have him blocked. Like... Alright, I'm just crafting this reply. Chat entertaining yourselves for 30 seconds. I type fast too, so I'm working on
it. Jake says he feels like Stotts is the Brett Brown of the Western Conference. Yeah.
Does that mean he's like... What exactly does that mean, though?
Alright. So are you admitting he's the bad coach?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I thought Jake likes Stotts. Jake loves Stotts. He was always telling us, "Oh, you guys are so wrong on Stotts." Like okay, maybe he does.
Brown too.
That's what I was thinking. That's why I was confused. Like, it's an accomplishment to get Jake to agree with us.
Yeah, he says, "Fine coach, but segment of fans hate on him a little too much."
He was trying to say. Haven't hated on him in a while. Why? Because the team's playing a better brand of basketball. The defense is still ass. And I could be critical of him for the defense.
How?
But we're winning games because Dame's going insane and our offense is better. All around better. So, yeah, we've literally haven't been talking about Stotts at all. So, I don't think we're too hard on him.
Whiteside and Nurk. How will Whiteside and Nurk play together?
Yeah, when Stotts plays those two together, then I'll be back to being critical over Stotts.
Or then wondering why we're leaving corner threes wide open.
All right, bro.
All right, man. I need to go. Yeah, I just have to get up super early, get the kids off to school and grandparents' house and stuff.
Alrighty, bro. I'll catch you later. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Tweet me the picks against the Spurs.
Later, everyone.
Or not tweet me. Send it to me, and I'll get that going. How many games do we have tomorrow? Do you know? Hopefully not many. I'm not trying to do
look it up right now.
Slides.
I have a feeling Wednesday we'll have a lot of games because last game before the All-Star break. There's 9.
All right. Yeah, I'll get those.
All right. I'll stay on
Okay.
until I'm done
Sounds
texting
good.
you.
I'm saying
But I gotta go get my
saying
phone.
back to this guy that said that to Chad. I'm saying he literally gives us more grief than that because we've been critical and realistic towards Stotts without being biased or a Stotts cheerleader. We're the donkey idiots that hates Terry Stotts, according to him. So, I wish he actually had this mindset. As I said, I say what I think, but I keep it 100% real. See, you got Chad retweeting this, even though he doesn't practice this to us, and insults us on air. So, I'm not the bad guy keeping it real, pointing that out. Chad won't reply, though.
Oh my goodness. There are some weird games.
Anyway, alright. There. Gotta just tweet it at him. Good night, Tori. You're my favorite streamer, Tori for life. Good night, Tori for life. Appreciate it.
Who?
Yeah, is that one of you guys?
In
or?
chat? It's obviously a person.
Yeah, like which
No,
one,
it's obviously
which one is that?
one.
Out of curiosity. Who's the Mario Hazonia burner? Which one of them is that? I feel like Captain Cap'n is like one of 4 or 5 different personas. Like he literally sits there and like switches back between all these accounts on his phone or his computer or something.
I didn't see Zacho tonight.
I'm every burner. So Cap'n, you're every account here. You got like 200 screens, and you're everybody, and we think we're streaming to 200 people, and it's actually just like 2. How tragic would that be? I'd cry. Nah, there's no way. There's no way he could chat that's obviously a joke because there's no way he could type that fast.
Well, we had like 7,000 people on the trade stream. So.
Bakar. I don't know how to say your name, but you know, just call you Bach because BAC. Stoss is a terrible coach. Jake Curry finally gets it. Okay, awesome. Got the all caps and everything. What's your thoughts on Hazonia since he picked up his play as of late? Are you sure he's picked up his play? Because he still looks pretty bad to me. I'm not a... Yeah. He didn't look that good tonight. And he got hurt. Milkshakes are good. Bye. Yes, I need a milkshake. I got a little bit of like heartburn, so I definitely need a milkshake for like here and for you know, fuel my whole body with coldness right now. I love the cold, to be honest, so I can walk out in shorts and a t-shirt in this weather and be fine right now. Will Stotts be mentioned in the rap? No, it's gonna be like, it might be about like literally like just not even Blazer related, like about life related. You know what I mean? Like it might be about hoes, guns. Oh, I just got this demonetized crap. But script, you know, it might be about, you know, a bunch of stuff that could get me demonetized. No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't like. It'd be. I don't know. I don't know what it's gonna be. But now I gotta get it out 50 days before the end of the regular season, so I'm scared. I might just play it on a stream and then that's it. Make sure first P last jail. Here's it. I don't know. I do not know, man. I'm too nervous to tweet it out. I don't think that was part of the agreement to tweet it out. God, I don't. Oh no, this sucks. Oh man, what's wrong with me? Why did I ever Why did I ever, bro? Gonna like use like a voice changer so like you guys wouldn't, so it doesn't even sound like me. It'll be like some ASAP Rocky type of like low pitched stuff.
We didn't do picks on Friday, so the same records from the last text I sent you.
Favorite rapper? NF is up there, like his real stuff, not his like poppy, crappy type of stuff. Eminem. I don't know. Then I don't really have like favorites beyond that. Who's the? I'm not like a huge DaBaby fan. People like him, but all his stuff sounds the same and generic, in my opinion. Goldie by ASAP Rocky. ASAP Rocky fell off since that album, man. He didn't follow up that hype. Because he was, like, highly regarded after the album. I know.
Yeah, I'm so old school.
That was a question for me, not you. I knew it.
Well, I know it. I don't like any rappers like now.
You're 40, right? So we're after your time. I'm just kidding. That's mean. Completely meant that as a joke, but I said it completely serious. I do that too much. No, honestly, I don't know like many people that are 40 that like today's rap, and I kind of like see it.
Yeah, MC Hammer was awesome. Russell first round. That's it.
Hey, you guys had a good era of music, man. It's just completely different, completely evolved into something completely different.
Dr. Dre, The Chronic was the first album I ever got.
That interview with Common was really
CD.
cool. I thought Common's cool, man.
Yeah.
Damn, gonna get that collab with them. I'm starting to actually like Dame stuff. Like beyond just like it being Damian Lillard, you know, like just in general.
Yeah.
I'm starting to like stuff. I like Lauryn Hill. I know that is. Oh, man, David's pretty mad in my opinion. Yeah, he just needed like good production quality and good beats, you know, like a lot of it is like the beat for me, and then to just go with the beat in a way. So that's what he did on this last album. So that's why it's like I kind of like it, you know what I mean? It doesn't really have like this last album didn't have like anywhere near the substance, but like the flow was like cleaner. He didn't really switch it up, but like he was more on beat and more just like his delivery was better. Captain, get out of here with that. Hell no. I know you're capping, but still, hell no. And the only time I'll say like capping is in response to Captain, because I'm not. I cringe otherwise when people say that. But Captain, no cap. Yeah,
no cap.
If you like pulled that out to me midstream, I would like be so shocked I'd like shut down the stream. And then I ask you like what?
I'm gonna wait like a month and pull it out.
I would literally like this is literally what I do. If Aries like, oh no cap, I'd be like,
Fail. You probably muted your mic when you did that too. I know. Nobody tell him his mic is muted. Whenever Tori does something, he thinks you can hear him, and you guys are messing with him. uh, you got
Oh, why is it on there? Why is it on there? What the hell?
you guys couldn't hear Tori, but he was going off about how it wasn't muted, and you guys were messing
Well,
with
why
him,
is it?
and he's like, no, it's not muted.
No.
I'm watching the bars.
I'll actually show you guys what I'm talking about. Okay, I'll actually show you guys what the man. Oh my god.
He's gonna mute himself.
Well, no. So you have like this, right? So like when I mute Eric, or if I mute myself, I'll. This was on. It was working, but apparently, like this shouldn't be here because this is all like what's on the screen. Oh no, the mic is supposed to be there. I don't know. See, I get confused with this new software. The mic is supposed to be here, which I didn't even realize was a thing that I could do. So that's probably why I've been muted while this. Maybe that's happened in the past. I don't know. How am I still muted? There's no way I'm still muted. Yeah, you assholes. I know there's no way because I.
No, you were muted.
I'm literally listen to myself.
You were. No,
I hear myself.
You're back now.
No, see, they're saying muted though right now. They're saying it right now. They're trying to mess with me. Maybe I was. I don't know, but like, it's that thing. Okay. Anyway. No, you're muted. Yeah, why are you saying no if you don't know what I'm saying, bro?
You're back.
Oh, killing me. Yeah, so anyway, that's the streamer struggle. Because I didn't know that was a thing. Because I would never mute it like that. So I don't know why. Oh, it's because I randomly muted all of them. Okay. Gotcha. Do you guys really want to hear me echo in the background to make sure I'm not muted? I will literally do this. Yeah, I know I'm echoing because I'm making sure I'm not muted. Check your mic USB.
Echo.
I think my mic USB pretty good. Screw y'all, man. Trying to troll me like that. Lag. Oh yeah, lag. Okay. I think your guys' brains are lagging. We have been on.
We have been on for over 3 hours.
Hey, it's been a good stream though. It's back to the fun. I love the streams that go like this progression. I love the streams like this. I love kicking it and enjoying it with you guys. So anyway, I'm gonna go get a milkshake from Winco. I'm gonna go get a milkshake from Winco because I'm thirsty. Thank you to everybody who donated. Thank you for tuning in and being a part of our night. Thanks for letting us be a part of yours. The forehead stream. Russell first round to exit Westbrook. I just gotta do this. You know, I don't care that I'm logging off right now, but I'll see you later, Russell first round exit Westbrook. Thank you for your donation. Oh, he donated $50. I can't pay him. God, man. So he had free shots about.
Yeah.
There's your one free shot.
There's your one free.
There's your one free shot.
Next game is Tuesday night. Necron against New Orleans.
Coach.
Or Memphis.
Bye. Alright, I'll see you later, Jake Carey. I'm just going to literally put everybody in a 300-second timeout and then end the stream.
Don't do that.
No, I know I'm not.
They've been so good tonight.
Okay. I said, yeah, see,
All right.
I got
See
to
you
do it
guys
to Russell
tomorrow.
first, Westbrook, because he said he wants the ban. Okay, and I said I give him one free shot. So there he goes. Bye. Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out of my chat. Thank you for the donation too. You'll get those nachos. And we'll catch you guys. We'll catch you guys tomorrow with podcast.
Later, everyone.
Okay, podcast tomorrow. Hopefully you guys tune in for that around 3:30. I don't know. I gotta make the graphics for it, all that. And then Tuesday got a game. Wednesday got a podcast and a game. Friday we'll have a podcast previewing the All-Star break. Might have like a little reaction video or reaction podcast like Saturday or Sunday. I don't know yet. I don't know if we're gonna do anything for that. But then won't have anything until the Thursday or Friday after it. What are you laughing at?
Dame Dollar.
So I won't. So there will be a bit of a layoff. We'll try and put out like stream highlights montages, so you guys can like miss us a little bit, you know. So you guys can like beg to have us back. But no, seriously. Got content for the next week, and then we'll end up taking like good 4 days off or so, and then we'll be back with the stretch around the season. So that's the future. I need to update the schedule in the streaming hub. I don't know if any of you guys have been paying any attention to that, but I'll make sure to keep that link down there in the future. And anyway, best of Mario montage. Yeah, go ask True Blazer fan for that, because he'd actually put it together just to be like positive towards Mario because people were being too mean to him. But yeah, we ain't a highlight channel. We're an analysis.
I don't know. Best
It
of
wouldn't be
Mario
too hard to put
montage
together.
would,
Exactly.
it'd be pretty small.
10 seconds long.
I think it'd be a lot more fun of him like.
Well, you just start off with with that video. You start off with that reversed, whatever the hell he had earlier this season. Then you'd also have that little left-handed.
And then the one where he missed like the 3 layups in one play.
Uprise report. Bro, no, you ain't coming back on a second account. I don't care if I'm ending the stream right now. Take your ban. Take your ban. Take your ban like a man. Anyway, yeah, I'll catch you guys later. This is the first time in forever that we've been like under 50 viewers on a live stream. It's because we streamed so long. It just feels kind of weird. Because stuff's been popping off lately. It's been a lot of fun. Wide open 3 montage. No Mario montages. I'll get his jersey just to burn it though. How about that? Do the. No, I know.
It's not his fault.
No, man, I like
him.
Mario as a person. You know that's why I'm not like gonna.
Yeah. He's embraced the Northwest and all that.
It kind of makes me sad that he's not better. You know. I wanted him to succeed. I wanted him to prove me wrong. All he's done is proven me more right than even I expected. So.
It's not his fault Stott's offering him a contract.
True.
Or Olshay.
True. Why did my screen just like go black in flashes for a second? That was strange. I don't know if that was my phone or the stream. But anyway, we'll catch you guys later. We'll catch you guys tomorrow with that podcast. Hopefully you tune in, as I said. And until then, have a good rest of your night. We'll see you later. As always, peace out. Go Blazers.